sharp like a knife. Small time streamer, no fame, no crown, but my voice is my own, I won't back down. I guess I'm too raw, too rough, too plain, but I'm spitting my heart, not chasing some game. No corporate leash, no puppet on strings. I'm free in my words, hear the truth that I bring. No big shadow shine, no glitter, no fakes. Minimal effort, just me and my takes. I'm speaking the truth, let the whole world know. Small time streamer, but that's how I roll. Do my words hit hard, give the system the chills. Minimal effort, no budget, no frills. I'm carving my path, let the fire erupt. Small time dreamer with a voice that's enough. Got a webcam flicker and a beat in my chest. Bass takes in my veins, spilling facts is my quest. I'm breaking the mold, no mainstream appeal. Just a kid with a dream and a heart made of steel. I sift through the data, the left and the right. No bias, no agenda, just seeking the light. They laugh at my setup, my low-res stream, but my words cut deeper than the corporate screen. I guess I'm too raw, too rough, too plain, but I'm spitting my heart, not chasing some game. No corporate leash, no puppet on strings. I'm free in my words, hear the truth that I bring. No big channel shine, no glitter, no fakes. Minimal effort, just me and my takes. I'm speaking the truth, let the whole world know. Small time streamer, but that's how I roll. Do my words hit hard, give the system the chills. Minimal effort, no budget, no frills. I'm carving my path, let the fire erupt. Small time dreamer with a voice that's enough. I'm the spark in the dark, the glitch in the code. Carving my lane on this uncharted road. Million subs, no viral fame, but I'm owning the truth and I'm changing the game. I'll scream till my lungs give out, till the signal's dead. Every word that I speak is the blood that I bled. No big channel shine, no glitter, no fakes. Minimal effort, just me and my takes. I'm speaking the truth, let the whole world know. Small time streamer, but that's how I roll. Do my words hit hard, give the system the chills. Minimal effort, no budget, no frills. I'm carving my path, let the fire erupt. Small time dreamer with a voice that's enough.
Correct, Lugia. Unlike me, the song never gets old, but it's all good. I made my peace with it a long time ago. Honestly, I don't even feel my age. I know I don't look my age. Primarily my back. My back is pretty much the only thing where I kind of feel my, quote unquote, feel my age. All right, I'm getting a poll going, guys. Hang on a second here. But yeah, DB Wild again, of course. Credit to him for the intro song. All right. I'm just going to do 3 options on here. And of course, I say Steam count because that's the only thing we have to go off of. I feel my age in about 10 more years. Yeah, I've been there. I've been there momentarily. It just depends on the day. Yo, Oblivion, what's good, buddy? So, hey, welcome in, DB Wild, Wagon Burner. I don't know if you're going to be watching on Twitter or on YouTube, but either way, welcome in, buddy. Of course, DB Wild, Oblivion, all you guys. Excuse me. I've got the burps. Give me 1 second. I'm going to finish getting things set up here. Overweight, so it doesn't help. Yeah, honestly, that does contribute to it a lot for a lot of people. Not the same problem I have. I've got the opposite problem. And, all the fun shit that goes with the whole Crohn's thing and all that. But to be fair, I know a lot of people with Crohn's issues that are far more severe than mine. And like my brother has ulcerative colitis. And my Crohn's is under better control than his colitis is at the moment, although I don't think he ever ended up in the hospital for his colitis. So It's kind of a, it's a six of one, half dozen of the other situation. Speak of the devil, Virgin Philosopher on Kick, Minimal Effort Gaming. Let's promote you. Come in. nezhna.com. No, let's not do that. In fact, let's never do that again. So I didn't stream at all last week after Monday, primarily because I just didn't have a whole lot of time. My kids have been catching up on Stranger Things because they all wanted to watch the final season, and so we've been having them watch like an episode a night. And so, like tonight, I had the stream ready to go for about 20 minutes, but I couldn't get them out of my hair. So that's why I'm like, all right, well, I had everything ready to go. Yeah, come in. No, let's never come in, especially not if it's a kickbot. That being said, I was planning last week on streaming on Friday, and then Kata ended up having me pick him up at the airport Saturday morning, so I didn't want to stream Friday night because I just didn't want to be up late. I want to make sure I was there on plenty of time. And then Saturday, by the time I got home, I spent the first half of the day with Kata and Treyas up in Seattle, and just hanging out. We went to Outback, got some lunch, and then I had to figure out where the hell I was going, take them over to pick up a battery pack for their phones, go take them to the FatCon, drop them off. And my God, I've never seen two guys so reluctant to get out of a car. You should have seen these guys, okay? So from the moment I picked Kata up, he was like, I can't believe I'm doing this. Why am I doing this, right? And then Atreus stayed like 20 minutes from the airport, so we had to drive over to his hotel, pick him up. Both those guys, holy shit, they were so miserable. Dude, honestly, like I watch all of Atreus's videos. I watch all of Kata's videos. I try to catch New Blackstreet when they're on. They're always like so upbeat and positive and shit. How much taller am I compared to Kata? I've got about that much on him. I'm not even kidding. Now he could probably fold me in half. He's thick, okay? Kata, he's a compact little guy. But no, I'm definitely a little taller. I'm a scotch taller than him. Right away, you guys are coming in hard on Marathon's numbers, 50K or below. I'm going to say Marathon will probably hit 100,000 plus concurrent players the first couple of days it's on Steam. I don't know that it's going to hit 250. I figured I'd throw that out there just for the hell of it. He's a proper dwarf, compressed and sturdy. True. However, I probably, when my beard was actually long, my beard was probably fuller than his. His is thinner than mine. Mine's short and all that. But no, Kata, he's surprisingly like, he is shorter than me. I didn't think he was, but then I saw him and Trace is like, oh no, he's shorter. So that was fun. But yeah, we spent a few hours up in Seattle. And yeah, by the time we got to FatCon, both those guys, they were not having it. It's going to be 20,000. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. All right, so I've got a lot of filler crap to start with that we can kind of go through in a minute here, guys, because I don't have a ton of stuff brought up. I do have the 3 topics that we're going to hit on, but I just wasn't, I don't know. Last week, oh my God, if I'd have streamed last Friday, there was so much to go over. Like last Friday, guys. Last week was crazy. I could have made more videos than I made. I could have made videos over the weekend if I had time. I could have streamed Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Like there was so much content, so many stories to talk about. I get to today and I'm like, there's stuff I want to talk about, but it's kind of like old news. It's not even new stuff. Most of the Bungie fans probably are only now just finding out about it, plus all the streamers. Yeah, streamers that'll always be a thing. And when you rolled up to FatCon, could you smell it before you got close? Now, here's the funny thing about FatCon. So, aside from it being FatCon. So, you guys got to remember, there was a Seahawks-Niners playoffs game starting at 5 o'clock, and where FatCon was. So, you go downtown Seattle, and there's T-Mobile Park, which is the Mariners Stadium. Across the street from that, hey, Equilibrium. Across the street from T-Mobile Park, you got Lumen Field, I think they call it now. They've changed the name of these stadiums so many times. And that's where the Seahawks are. Just down the street, like walking distance from Lumen Field, was the hotel where FatCon was going on. So you didn't really notice any like large people walking around. What happens is they went into the hotel, and I think they actually had to go up a floor or 2 floors. I don't think it was on the ground floor. I think they had to go up, which is even funnier to think about because I'm like, All those big women on the same floor. Like, that's just, yeah. So, no, there was no obvious smell. There wasn't even big people. Like, we were noticing he was streaming it from the car. I'm looking around like there weren't even big women on the street. And I say women because large people walking around. I say big women because I don't think there were like any guys at FatCon. It was pretty much a female oriented event, as most of those things typically are. Yeah, large people rolling around is more like it. Although again, didn't see any. I didn't see anybody in motorized carts. I'm seeing a lot of hate toward High Guard. Understand the zero marketing should have just shadow dropped. Do you think it goes quickly? Yeah, you know, Tragic's Gaming, here's the thing. High Guard, unfortunately, if it came out 5 years ago, whether they shadow dropped it or advertised it or whatever, it might have done okay. But people have gotten fatigued by the amount of hero shooters that exist. Okay, so guys, I was going to use Titanfall footage for my recent video on High Guard and Marathon, and I was recording it and realized that my picture quality on my recording was terrible, so I scrapped that and just used the Marathon footage that I had. But I was playing through Titanfall the last couple of days, and I'm like, God, this multiplayer was so damn good. And I'm like, if they had done anything remotely close, and I know they can't do Titanfall 3, they don't have the rights to it, yada, yada, I understand that. But if they had not gone the hero shooter route, if they'd gone any other direction and put a little bit of creativity into it, they could have avoided this entire thing. Like, they could have been like, I understand the timing was bad at the Game Awards, the last trailer, the finale of all the trailers, all this stuff, all the hype. Bad situation, right? But at the same time, they could have helped themselves out by not dropping another generic hero shooter. I'm sorry, it's just a bad idea, bad timing. So I would not be surprised if the game gets scrapped. And I say that in all honesty. When I say scrapped, I mean it might launch. The odds of them canceling at this point before launching, we're a week out. They haven't said anything. It's probably not getting canceled. But does that mean in 6 months or a year they won't shut down the servers? Absolutely not. It's very likely they will. So they still needed the developers who came up with Titanfall and they're long gone. Right, Blackout, exactly. The game looked horrid. Yeah. Respawn does not have the rights to Titanfall 3. Well, this isn't Respawn. This is Wildlight Entertainment, a new studio. High Guard wouldn't succeed even if they released 5 years ago. No, I mean, I'm not saying that they would have succeeded 5 years ago. I'm saying there would not have been the amount of backlash. FatCons for BBWs, the card-carrying FUPA holders, and BSBs. What the hell's a BSB? Anyways, we're really losing it in the US. Yeah, dude, Susano, shit is just insane right now. It's crazy. People keep forgetting Battleborn, that game that came out the same time as Overwatch and also Paladins. I've heard the name Paladins and Battleborn both, but I've never played them. Yeah, Titanfall's got a cult following. Devs aren't giving what they want. Dude, it's terrible. I'm talking. I was checking out my recording settings on OBS on Streamlabs here about an hour and a half ago, and I'm like, okay, I need to record one quick multiplayer match of Titanfall 2. To wonder if this isn't just a Windows AI situation with the microphone. This doesn't happen if I'm just recording stuff. This only happens after I go live. So I don't know. Maybe it's a defective, like I know, like I can tap the microphone to unmute it, right? So right there, I muted it. But I'm wondering if it's something between the microphone and Streamlabs and not so much a AI. Speak up, we can't hear you. Come on, man. Could be anything at this point. To be fair, I haven't dug deep to try to fix it, but whatever. I must be Russian today. I do that too. Susano, every day we're either Russian or Nazis or fascists or whatever. That happens to all of us. But what I was saying is, I don't think it's fair just to blame Jeff Keighley. I don't think it's fair just to blame the Game Awards. You got to blame everybody. Everybody that's been involved in advertising or not advertising the game, developing the game, promoting the game, designing the game. Everybody's culpable. So I heard something about the Copilot vulnerabilities, but to be honest, because I don't use Copilot and know very little about how it operates, it's just something outside of my wheelhouse. But yeah, so as far as High Guard goes, whether it's 6 months or a year, I do believe that it will be shut down. You know, it's patched, it's also noise. Oh, interesting. So again, whatever that looks like, the game will not succeed. People generally just are uninterested in it. And that doesn't mean that people have to be like, oh, this is the worst game, don't play. I don't care if you play High Guard. This is the problem. I just noticed my video I put out last night, although it did okay on views, only had like a 74% like ratio. And I was responding and looking at the comments for like the first 5 hours or whatever. And then, of course, a few more this morning, but I didn't have time because I was at work. And then I get home and I'm on YouTube Studio. I'm like, 74 or 75% dislike or like to dislike ratio. That means like 25% of the people said dislike. And I'm like, what did I do in that video that pissed everybody off? I mean, maybe there legitimately are people who are interested in High Guard. I don't know. But it certainly does. Exactly that. You have no idea how pissed I was at the Diesel Night devs for adding the short single-player story as a stretch goal instead of making it the main focus. I hate those stretch goals, man. I understand how stretch goals, why they exist. I still hate it. It's an app you can get to halt Copilot. Pretty sure it's called Shut Up Win 10, 11. I mean, that's pretty awesome. I should look that up. No DEI mount. The Concord haircut is why High Guard is dead on arrival. Oh, man. Yeah, again, the character designs aren't helping that game. Super Tone Deaf given the whole upset about Titanfall 1. No, I don't use a laptop. I'm on a desktop. So I despise laptops. The only thing I hate more than laptops are any Apple products. It goes like anything Mac, anything Apple, iPhones included, then laptops, then tablets, then smartphones, then computers. So added stretch goals because the support skyrocketed and they got 10 times as much as they asked for. Well, shit. That's pretty awesome. That's not a bad situation to be in, but still. All right, so we'll get through some of the fun bullshit pretty soon here and get to the main topics. I saw this one and I figured I had to share it with you guys. It's from dudes posting their W's on X. It says in Kamchatka, Russia, it snowed so much that dudes are jumping out of buildings without injuring themselves. Now, this is something that even if I knew the snow would not cave out from underneath me, that I wouldn't hit something on the way down, wouldn't break my neck, I don't think I would have the balls to do this. Hang on a sec. Let's see volume here. This is going to be copyrighted Russian music, just watch. I mean, don't get me wrong, that looks fun as hell, but there's just no way I could make myself do that. I don't know if you guys have seen the pictures of the snow over there right now. Not as crazy as it seems. It's crazy for people like me who hate heights. I am terrified of heights. So for me personally, I couldn't do it. Titanfall 3 would blow Marathon out of the water. Yes, 100%. Titanfall 3 would create shockwaves. I'm talking like that game would be... I mean, people would be concerned because of current respawn and, everything going on with just the amount of like focus put on Apex Legends because it's a microtransaction factory as opposed to games like Titanfall. But still, I would try to remain hopeful if there was any news about a Titanfall 3. I grew up around snow, been doing this since I was really little. I've never jumped that high out of a window anywhere. And yeah, we don't get that much snow over here. In fact, when Atreus and Kata were here on Saturday, they were like, oh, we were surprised that it wasn't snowing and it wasn't that cold. I'm like, guys, Washington doesn't get that cold. Like Washington, we might get a few weeks down in the teens. There might be a week where you actually get real snow that's more than like half an inch that melts 2 days later. But typically our winters are just kind of wet and humid. Not really like really frigid temperatures. Like it's currently in like the 30s or something here. Not that bad. So, but yeah, we don't get snow like this. You'd have to go to the mountains for snow like that. You'd have to check it first. Yeah, I would certainly check it first. I have no idea what I just closed. So here you go. For people who are memeing on the whole Greenland thing. Now, as far as like invading Greenland, taking Greenland from Denmark and all that crap, I have no feeling about this whatsoever. I think it's kind of funny. It's a meme. It's cringe. It's whatever. There are people taking it way too seriously, but I'm like, all right. Saw this posted on X here, and it says, we're definitely taking Greenland now. I'm going to go ahead and mute it because I don't know if there's any copyrighted music. It's from Miss Universe, I think. Miss Greenlandia or Grunland. I don't know. I don't know what language they even speak in Greenland. Dude, she almost looks like Sofia Vergara. That's crazy. Like, you think Greenland, you think like some blonde hair, blue-eyed chick. Yeah, again, I appreciate the meme. I get it. But personally, it's like, I have no interest in Greenland. What the hell's even there? It matters due to the resources and the strategic importance. Is it really that, like, strategically, Greenland's... I'm trying to think where... So, yeah, I mean, Greenland's a large piece of land. I guess strategically that would make sense. Frostbite is there. Yeah. Enough with overseas, just Minnesota locked down hard. I mean, Black Cat, I feel you there, buddy. But look, the minute that ice rolls into my state, it's going to be the same shit here. And same with Colorado, same with California. The governors are going to do the same thing. Everyone's going to do the same thing. Best thing about Greenland is that the women don't have penises. Yeah, I don't think there's room to tuck one in there, so you're probably right about that. It's basically between us and our rival nations. Here's a funny one, because I totally forgot until I left work at 5 o'clock this afternoon and noticed that there was no other cars in the parking lot. I'm like, oh, I guess you only work on MLK Day if you're self-employed, right? It's from Selena 52 Truck Stop. I'm guessing this is like a Love's Travel Shop kind of thing. America's Deadliest Truck Stop. Everything is OC. And they said, in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, we have removed the urinal dividers so customers of all colors can pee side by side. Hand in hand, if you'd like, in harmony, just as Dr. King probably wanted. Selena 52 is fully committed to doing what's right as long as it's convenient and requires minimal effort. There you go. I didn't even see that part before. Oh my God, that's awesome. 90% of the 56,000 people there are Inuit. Oh, really? So they're all native. Neither nose rings. The cold doesn't allow it. Oh my God, can you imagine having a nose ring in the frigid temperatures? And yeah, no way. Just don't turn and face one another while doing it. Dude, this is gay enough as it is. I want to know if this is like AI. So many times it's so hard to tell, but I want to say it's AI, but I don't know. This is crazy. I love it. Your comment got nuked for typing groin. It's a complete troll. Yeah, I love it. Talking about a case that requires minimal effort. Oh, really? That's awesome. Yeah, the holding hands while doing it, that's the craziest part. So we're going to cover, there's some stuff about Arc Raiders I want to talk about coming up here when we get towards like marathon stuff. But the Rooster on Twitter, this guy is like a fan account of Arc Raiders, says, I think I found Hassan Piker's house. Now, you can't see because I'm in the way on this side over here. It's like a voltage converter or whatever. A shock grenade blueprint, battery, dog collar. I'm like, all right, yeah. I never actually put all these things together before, but I'm like, holy shit, that's awesome. That's peak, yeah. I'm like, yes, that is maximum Keck right there, 100%. Just can't stop. Dude, I know, I saw somebody, what was it? Was it Dan Saltman? I think it is. One of these guys, maybe it was Hutch, I can't remember. That was showing that apparently he moved the shock thing to the right side instead of the left, and he did it again. I'm like, what the hell, man? You just can't stay. Oh, I don't know if you guys have seen this account on Twitter, but as somebody who sunk 300 hours into Valheim, and I need to get back to it, really, really awesome Valheim content on Twitter. He has like a Ko-Fi page. He doesn't have like YouTube or anything that I found, but he builds all sorts of like mega stores, like, you know, convenience stores and shit on here. So he's got a Walmart that he's building. He's also got, let's see here. He had a mattress firm that he, next to the Dollar General that he built, and then he changed it to Spirit Halloween. Oh, man. I mean, the creativity here is awesome. Yeah, I said the natural beauty of this place disgusted me, so I made a strip mall. Oh, he's got a T-Mobile store. That's hilarious. Was thinking of doing this in Enshrouded. I like this trend. Also, until this, I didn't know you could do this in Valheim. Well, I don't know if this is a mod, because here, a lot of these colors that he's putting here, a lot of this stuff, from what I remember of Valheim, when it comes to, like, you know, writing, all you could do as far as writing went was just like on signboards. So he listens to my comments. I told him to put Spirit Halloween. I didn't know that you knew this guy. Oh, he's awesome. I love Greg, the sorcerer. Send me something on okay, hang on a second. Let me take a look. I don't have Discord open on my computer. I'd pull it up there. No way, they got a Leering Center? Dude, what game is that from? That's awesome. I'll just switch to this. You guys can see it there. That is freaking awesome. I love it. Show started while I was in the shower. I thought you'd like to know. I didn't want to know that you were naked, man, but I hope you washed your balls. You know what? There's no shame in taking that shower head if it's on like one of them hoses and actually getting up there and getting everything clean. Like, it's not gay, I promise. Just get clean. That's all that matters. Oh, it's AI, but as Valheim. Okay, got it. Yeah, either way, that's cool. I like it. I like it. All right, let's see here. Oh, this was a cool one. Translated from Chinese, probably some bot account. I don't say that to be mean, but China has a lot of bot accounts. Culture going global. Sun Wukong steps into the overseas scene. Look at this face, this body, truly worthy of being China's cultural icon. So this is actually pretty cool. Like, as far as, like, you know, cosplay and stuff goes, that's pretty awesome. It's only a bit fruity if you hold that sprayer on the booty hole too long. Hey, agreed. Now, if you've got like hemorrhoids or stuff, it probably helps. Oh my god, I didn't realize that Cage wrote. Oh, they got better cosplays than I mean. I know, but this thing, I gotta say, that looks pretty damn cool. What else we got here? Oh, here's a fun one talking about AI. He has platform shoes. Nothing wrong with that. Some are AI, but a great deal of them are real. This one here seems pretty legit. I've watched this a few times. No obvious signs that it's AI, but again, I didn't go in and like double check and verify. This one here, quite clearly AI. But for anybody who loved the Techno Viking meme back in the day, this is a police chase in Minnesota, obviously AI.
We are live over downtown Minneapolis where, yes, that is a protester in a Viking costume marching down the street doing the techno Viking dance.
Now, if protesters would all be like this, if they would all do this, I would be like, have a field day, protest to your heart's content, block the streets, walk down the streets, I don't care. This I'd be okay with. Not that hard to create high quality cosplay like that. It would be for me because I have no idea where to even start. Not a clue. I got no idea. The issue is that men are not into creating cosplay. I mean, yeah, but men wouldn't it, okay, let's say you're a guy. If you want to meet like hot women or like have a hot girlfriend, be the guy that makes all of her cosplay costumes, you know, because most cosplayers are female. Was a great meme. Oh, yeah. Someone did an interview with him a few years back. Yo, Patriot. How you doing, bud? Western men, definitely not. Eastern men, yes, they are. Well, yeah, but I'm not going to say it. Do both. There you go. I'm not going to say it. Anyways. Here's an interesting one. Hopefully this doesn't have any problems with, like, getting taken down after the stream's over. This is a leak, but it's from a canceled game. And it's from ZeniMax Online. It's an MMO that was codenamed Project Blackbird, canceled by Xbox a few months ago. I had never heard of it. Some people say they were looking forward to it. I had never seen this one. Yeah, Susano, I have never cosplayed. If we're talking like actually putting time and effort into a costume, Maybe for Halloween one year, there was a costume that I actually spent a few $100 on assembling, but I still wouldn't consider that cosplay because, again, it was just for Halloween. Easiest way to get a hot girlfriend is to be gay. I don't even need to go into details about why that's just so wrong. If I had the money, I'd probably make a 3D printed Artorias suit before I die. That's a pretty good idea. That's a good goal. If they hit the goal, the boys from New Black Street are going to FurryCon. Oh my god. Well, you guys better go donate. Of course, I don't know where the hell... Is FurryCon in, like, San Francisco, California, I imagine? I actually haven't even watched this yet. I have no idea what I'm looking at. I mean, so far, just like generic sci-fi MMO slop. I don't know. Yeah, Patriot, it takes a lot of both. You know, I'm going to be a prude for a second and just say it like it is. My main issue with cosplay, and I'm sure some of you might understand this take, my biggest issue with cosplay is kind of like the same thing as what's happened with Twitch. It seems to me that a lot of the girls that have gotten into cosplay and a lot of the girls who are on Twitch both use it just as a means to like shill their like feet pics and their OnlyFans and that kind of crap. So while they have the looks and the body to do the cosplay, it's just a gateway to get guys to go subscribe on like OnlyFans and shit. So that's my issue with like the entire cosplay scene, is it's basically just like one step away from like prostitution. I don't know. It's not always comfortable, but being a mascot's worse. Oh, dude, I could never do the whole mascot thing. Girls cosplay for their OnlyFans? Yeah, exactly. There's 2 FurryCons, Michigan, Motor City FurCon in Detroit, and Fur Camp on the other side of the state. God. Why? I'd marry Snarky J. But does she have a nice personality, or is it all about looks? Since they started getting a Twitch following? Right, exactly. This is a canceled MMO from ZeniMax Online called Project Blackbird. I think that was just a code name. I don't know. People said they were looking forward to it. I'm like, what is there to look forward to? I've seen a million games that vaguely look like this. Hopefully there won't be another pizza situation. Oh god, I can't remember what that is, and I don't think I want to know. Hey, Geekazu. How you doing, buddy? Just went with it. Somebody brought it up. I can't remember. Oh, the Sun Wukong cosplay we saw from China. So again, this looks fine. I don't know. It takes a lot for me to be like really excited about a game, right? It has to be something either really good or really unique. This is based on the canceled Prey 2 from 20 years ago. I mean, maybe that was it, yeah. Supposedly Phil Spencer loved this game. Then how come it never happened? Before the Final Fantasy remake, they made a trailer look just like that. Interesting. Yeah, no, it's not gameplay at all. It's just everything's standing still. Look at Prey 2 trailer. Let me take a look here. Wasn't on the agenda, but I don't really care. Let's take a look. Prey 2. Prey 2 cinematic trailer. Was it a gameplay or a cinematic? Dude, I never even got around to playing the first Prey game. Yeah, I've never played the first. Downloaded it a couple times off like Game Pass and whatnot. I'm pretty sure I own at least one copy of it. Aged pretty well. That's awesome.
Gonna break my rusty cage and run.
Kill you. Finally track me down, huh? Some of
Crimson
this
Desert's gonna be too massive, in my opinion. Too big. Just for me, and not other people. I don't care. Like,
Get out of my way.
if people have hundreds of hours to sink into it, you know, kudos for them. That's awesome. But I just don't think I have any interest in it.
Target has teleport capability.
Oh, it does look like Prey 2. You're not kidding. And I'm looking at the environment now. Holy crap. I thought Prey was a horror game.
Right behind me. Kill this son of a bitch.
Prey 2 said, yeah, this is the right game. Netflix having the rights to Sony stuff. Phantom Blade Zero. That one that looked, yeah, Phantom Blade Zero is definitely on my wish list for sure. The only thing I know about when it comes to Netflix is, for example, Sony. They are getting the Legend of Zelda live action movie 2 months after theater. So within 2 months, they're going to be able to put it on streaming. So yeah, most games get canceled. Exactly. Yes. Never played the original, but 2017 reboot is one of my favorite immersive sims, and it should have been named Psycho Shock instead. Cyberpunk looks like Cyberpunk looks like Cyberpunk, and so on. Right. There's not really any way to reinvent the Cyberpunk look. You know, it unfortunately, and that's not a bad thing, because I mean, if you like Cyberpunk, anything Cyberpunk, if the gameplay's good and the story's good, you're gonna like it, right? If you enjoy that aesthetic, that environment, you're gonna dig it. But it does all tend to look exactly the same because Cyberpunk is what Cyberpunk is, you know. It's the thing speaks for itself, obviously. Now I gotta figure out where I was at. Hang on a second. It's called Shadowrun. What is Shadowrun? A bit of Cyberpunk or Jedi. Oh, interesting. Game called Remember Me First. Patriot, you're not wrong there. Yeah, Cyberpunk is a genre first and foremost, right? Has the Blade Runner look to it. Cyberpunk Utopia, clean and neon, or you got Cyberpunk Dystopia, all beat up and neon. I thought all Cyberpunk led to more of a dystopian result. Was I mistaken on that? I was under the impression Cyberpunk was always dirty and futuristic and stuff, but maybe I was like assuming. I don't know. Cyberpunk fantasy game with elves and orcs and shit. Oh, that's pretty cool. That could be fun. All right, let's see. Introducing Fallen, a new Xbox 360 era-inspired character action game in development for PC and consoles, where you play as Astra, a fallen angel who must battle through hell and its demonic forces. I guarantee you, without even watching this trailer, it's not going to be as cool as what we just heard described. Shadowrun is Tolkien meets Cyberpunk, where corporations control huge swaths of the planet, and magic is back. Oh, interesting. It's a running game. Started from Necromancer. Yeah, no history that's going to take me hours to catch up on. Tolkien meets D&D meets Cyberpunk. Oh my god, that's just too much, guys. All right, so here we go. This is called Fallen. Seems like my type. Turn off your brain and play. Well, it's not a bad thing.
In the beginning, there was only the Word, and the light followed it. All things were born thus: heaven, earth, hell. And for a time, it was good.
Okay, so right off the bat, somebody had said on a comment on Twitter that it looked like the entire thing was made with AI. I'm not sure. Life Alert commercial comes with this game. Oh man. Started as a TTRPG, then moved into video games later. Some of the video games are pretty like, I'll have to check it out. I'd never even heard of Shadowrun.
But the reckoning is at hand. This is why you were made, and why I strip you now of my name.
This sounds like a narrator doing one of those. You guys ever watch that docu-series on the Mormon Church? Not Mormon Church, sorry, on Scientology, that had Leah Remini and that other guy that were investigating the Church of Scientology. Anytime they had like the promotional stuff going on, or like the video series that they would watch and all that crap, when they had the guys talking and doing all like the voiceovers and crap, this is what this reminds me of, is like the Church of Scientology.
Astra, once Astrael, to fulfill your sacred mission, you must fall.
I don't know. I think this looks terrible. I have pretty good track record so far on games that I think look like crap, and this one looks really bad. Hell doesn't need tech, yeah. This looks like Timu Diablo or something. I don't know. Looks janky, yeah. Games should always be this good. Yeah, good luck with that. Reminds me of that Agony game. It reminds me of Sancticide a little bit, the AI game that I played. Trying hard to be Cain. Yes, but instead of Cain, it's a fallen angel. Why would IGN even advertise this? This looks terrible. All right, we have got a new Code Vein on our hands, guys. I'm assuming like maybe $20. If it's more, I'm not getting it. I don't know, man. This wants to be Dante's Inferno. Dante's Inferno, my God, that game is such a diamond in the rough. It's that game will sit on well, it used to, back when we had Game Crazy and GameStop and all that. That game could sit on a store shelf and not be touched for months, and they would clearance it for like $5. Enough to buy a copy of it for like what I did, really, really cheap. You take it home, you put it in your console, and you play, and you're like, oh my God, this game's incredible, right? Dante's Inferno was freaking amazing. Fantastic game. Game looked horrible once to me, but I loved it once I played it. What game were we talking about? I wasn't ready for the Vag Monsters. Wait, Susanna, which game were you talking about? I think I missed it. Came out when God of War and Devil May Cry were big. Oh, Dante. Okay, yeah. Yeah, there was kind of like weird Vag Monsters in there, wasn't there? This just looks bad. This doesn't look like a game made in the year 2026. This looks like a game made in the year like 1999. In the lair of Hell of Lust. I don't remember. Like, I only played through the game one time, but I don't remember, like, in detail all the enemies. You even have a little statue of him. That's awesome. To me, all Vag is monstrous. Was I half asleep watching that the first time? I don't know, but it's pretty terrible. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, that's going to be a really awful, awful, awful game. Like I said, I've got a pretty decent intuition when it comes to basing my opinion on games, at least which one, the ones that I've played, and then seen reviewed, like, did I say Code Vein earlier? I meant to say Code Violets. I'm pretty sure I said Code Vein. Code Vein, I think people actually liked. Code Violets, my God. Game from 1999 looked better because the 600 resolution and the software running made your brain fill in the gaps. That's true. Actually, if you go back and play Star Fox 64 in the appropriate setting, hell, even go back to the Super Nintendo, play the original Star Fox when you're fighting Andross at the end of it, your brain will fill in the gaps where it's like the pixels are missing, Like Code Vein if you're a weeb. I think that's why I never got around to playing Code Vein. Went to look on Steam, and Jesus, the only game called Fallen is a furry game. Oh my God. Code Vein 2 is coming out next week, right? Is it? I don't even know. Is it coming out next week? A lot of developers are building older style games that are less graphics intensive. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. The problem is that game doesn't look like low graphics intensive. It looks like dog shit. Prime example. When I first picked up Valheim, when the game came out and the game was like early access and people were just trying to get people to buy the game, I bought Valheim, played it for 40 minutes. I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't look good. I don't like the graphic and the textures and blah, 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 blah. It also, my computer at the time wasn't running it very well. Valheim, I've been told the coding's a mess. At least it was when it launched. So the game did not run as easily as it should have on my PC at the time. So I refunded Valheim, and then like a couple days later, I thought about it again. I'm like, I'm going to give it another chance. So I bought it again and sunk 300 hours into it. And Valheim does not have quote unquote good graphics, but the graphics that it has, it's the craziest thing. The game is actually really beautiful for what it is, The first one was good, doesn't mean the second one will be good. Exactly. Have to have a happy medium between pixel graphics and costing millions. Well, there are ways to do that. Neo 3 is also in 3 weeks. Damn. I think it's the liberal minds because Code Vein 2 still has some jiggle type waifu characters and enemy types. Valheim was low resolution. It looked like shit until the morning fog and the sunrise broke your mind. I mean, Avernum, you're not wrong. That's kind of how it worked. Once I got over the fact that a tree, mind you, the first thing that killed me in Valheim was a freaking tree that I cut down that fell on me, rolled over me, and killed me. Once I got over that and actually got to the leveling up, building, unlocking new areas and, different tech and all that kind, not tech like Arc, obviously, but like, different weapons and upgrades and stuff. Like Hightail, I can't get past the graphics. Cage, it takes a while. And the difference is Minecraft graphics is much more what Hightail was going for, the blocky square kind of stuff. Valheim doesn't do that. It's just like the low poly graphics. So different approach, same kind of effect. It's going to turn off a certain amount of people. So, friend cut a tree down and bonked me on the head, laughed about it for like 10 minutes. I was pissed, Avernum. I'm like, are you shitting me? Like, no, that's not going to be the way I die. The first time I died in that game was because a freaking tree killed me. I'm not a huge fan of Minecraft graphics for what they are. I've played hundreds of hours of Minecraft, so I'm going to admit that right now. If I could boot up my Xbox on the computer here and show you guys my Minecraft world, I spent probably 100 hours creating my mountain fortress with a farm on top and tunnels and a tower at the top and like all this shit that I had going. And then all my friends got on the world and they put houses down below and it was fantastic. But I still don't love the graphics. Not going to lie. I didn't love the style. Rather than Dragon Quest builder graphics. From what I've seen of Dragon Quest, it's too like Link's Awakening-ish for me. Too much like Animal Crossing. I don't know. Yeah, no, Code Vein's one that's on my list I need to get around to playing. So, the official Stellar Blade account announced that the team has completed a location scout for Stellar Blade 2 and shared a teaser photo. The location strongly resembles a place in China, with many fans comparing it to Chongqing's striking urban scenery. That's not a resemblance. That is the exact same building. If they're using, if the one on the right here is the one that they're showing as like an example of what they're doing, then it is like shot for shot this area in China. So that could be interesting. I still got around to actually playing. I got to get around to playing Stellar Blade. That's one of those things that for me personally is just not something that's high on my to-do list, unfortunately. It's very kid-coded. That's how I kind of feel about it. They give you the ick for some reason. Yeah, Cage, something about it doesn't have me itching to play it, Same in Conan Exiles. I build entire villages and toss all the thralls and slaves around to populate it. That's another game that I just never got around to playing. So, Digital Foundry says Crimson Desert, one of you guys mentioned this game earlier, was the most impressive looking game that they saw at CES. Apparently, it uses the custom Black Space engine instead of UE5, which Pearl Abyss is very proud of. So, I guess Crimson Desert has their own engine. They are not using Unreal Engine. So that will be interesting to see how the game runs, because apparently this game is going to have like the biggest map ever. Okay, like huge. Great game. I enjoyed it. What we're we talking about? Conan or Dragon Quest? Great outfits, giggity. I see all kinds of jitter and FPS performance issues with Crimson Desert. I mean, word is going to be Black Desert. Well, okay, hang on a second. Go back to Black Desert, because I didn't play Black Desert. What were the problems that Black Desert had? Something about the gameplay was just bad. Oh, see, I've had that issue before. I've had that issue with like a lot of the games. What is it? The Nexon games that I've tried, like the Vindictus Defying Fate type games and all that. You go, it looks pretty. Looks like it should be a good game. It has the aesthetic and the look of a good game. And then you actually play it and you go, this is ass to play, you know? Oh, Stellar Blade. Yeah. Big could mean empty as F. Exactly, 100%. Crimson Desert has my gamer loins in a tingle. Yeah, Vindictus was all about the boobs, which is fine, but no gameplay. Or the gameplay that was there was pretty disappointing. I have a video on my Crimson Desert on my X page. Just Crimson Desert has good writing. Without it, the good looks doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly. Let me see if I can find... Because I didn't actually pull up a video of Crimson Desert. Let me see here. Hang on a sec. All right. Cool. Thanks, Burner. Let me pull this up. All right, here we go. A little 20-second video. No volume, huh? That's weird. I mean, the game looks the part. My only concern for me personally, like you guys said, huge world is going to be empty. And then it's like, I would never have the time to explore the entire thing, to do everything in the game. Again, that's a personal problem. I don't think they need to cater the game to people like me who don't have the time for it. But still, I don't know. It will be interesting to see, though. It's one game that will stick with me for the next 20 years, like all the good ones from 20 years ago. Yeah, good luck with that. I mean, I'm here at almost 40 years old saying that Super Mario World is still in like my top 5 greatest games of all time. And that's, that's tough, because then you got to think about like all the Legend of Zelda games, and you got to think about like all the Halo games. You have to think about all the, for people who loved them, God of War games and all those kind of things. Supposedly the huge world's not empty, but that's what the devs say. We know. It doesn't matter what the devs say. Can we be honest? It doesn't matter what a dev says until the game is actually out and people can play it for itself. Nexon published Kazan? I think so, yeah. And that game was really good. The combat in Kazan is really satisfying. Another game I got to go back to finishing. I think it's the only game I ever played where I can't explain why it felt wrong playing it like super slow. I've played a lot of those. I understand that. I get it. But most of them, again, were like indie games or, I don't know, kind of oddball games that I'd never heard of before. Presentation's phenomenal for the game, but this post-launch, it's a post-launch buy for me. Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's just a personal problem. Too many games with empty, procedurally generated shallow missions. Yeah, and here's the thing, though. It's like, I have a hard time. A game has to be really interesting for me. It has to be really, like, it has to have a great story, well-made, good characters, to the point where if I'm going to sit and listen to hundreds of hours of, like, dialogue and story and cutscenes and really care about what I'm doing, it has to be really freaking good, Crimson Desert looks cool, but I don't know what the F it is. Mordor, Assassin's Creed AC? Not sure what that is. Castlevania Lords of Shadow. Oh, Lords of Shadow. That game's a banger. The sequel was such a disappointment. Holy crap, but Lords of Shadow, my God, talk about an amazing game. If you didn't have to worry about money, how much time do you really think you devote to gaming? Probably a lot, because here's the thing. If I didn't have to worry about money, as in, let's say streaming was my job. Let's say videos was my full-time job, right? I didn't have to have a real job where I go to work and I have to worry about all those other things that are part of like a grown-up life. I would probably stream a game or a couple of games several times a week, you know, like 8 to 10 hours a day probably. Now, obviously, there'd be inconsistencies there where it's like, well, there's family stuff to do and all that kind of shit. But I already play games now, even like days where I'm busy and I don't have much time. I'll get done getting the kids to bed, do all the things around the house I got to do, and then, you know, by the end of the night, it's 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. Maybe I'll record a video, or maybe I'll play Arc Raiders for an hour or something, you know? It's just a matter of, like, it depends on what I'm in the mood for. It's really tough because I have all these games like Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 and 2, and a whole bunch of other games that are like longer games that I really want to get back to finishing. But the games that you can jump in and out of a match on are a lot easier than the games that require 100+ hours to finish, you know? I read 4 hours a day, normally another 4 hours going through research. Rest was gaming, unless my kid wanted me for something. Yeah. I wish I could do that. That'd be nice. I don't, and I often spend all my free time gaming. Loved Kazan, but some bosses are way too difficult. Almost made me quit, but I finished it 3 phases. I mean, dude, the bosses are no joke. Like, they are no joke at all. Ninja Gaiden 4. Yeah, I'm not even touching that one. And I will be honest, the combat and everything looks satisfying in the game. It looks like a lot of fun. I can't get over how much yellow paint is in that game. It's unreal. Hey, H. Brown, I didn't know you snuck in here. Let me see here. Immersive games are so good, though. Yeah, they really are. Well, Patriot, it makes gaming fun, but it's only if you're playing, like, for example, with my kids and I play Smash Brothers together. That's a lot of fun. Or anything like that. Like, if we're playing, if they get a wild hair to, like, play Rocket League or some shit like that where I don't take it seriously, that's great. But if it's like if they're making me play Apex Legends, I'm like, guys, I hate the game. I wish there was something else we could play together. But at the same time, I'm going to make myself play it because it's what they're playing, so it's whatever. I don't want to not play a game with them. I just wish we had better options, you know? Now, and again, the Nintendo's always a good option for that because games like Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, all those kind of things exist. It's just tough because the games that they all want to play primarily are other games like, you know, Apex or whatever. NG4 is really well done, was pleasantly surprised. I wish the yellow paint could be a toggle. Yeah, dude, I'm sorry. And I'm not saying it ruined the game. You know, people are all going to have their own perception of like how much yellow paint is too much yellow paint. All I saw was like when Vera Dark was playing the 4th game, and I was watching some of the gameplay. I'm like, you think you guys sprayed enough yellow paint in there? Like, holy crap, that was insane. Yeah, and Patriot, I used to love that game. I used to love the game. That's the part that pisses me off the most. I used to love it when the game first launched. It was the game that I was streaming, game I was really trying to get good at. Hell, it was like the game that I looked forward to building my PC and playing the most. And then all of a sudden, everything changed when the game really exploded and streamers started playing it, and it got into esports and microtransactions and all the gay-ass costumes and all the other crap that went with it. So, you know, it just kind of sucks. Is what it is. All right, so apparently OpenAI is rapidly losing money and is projected to lose $14 billion in 2026 alone. This is the thing. For people who are like absolutely like livid and like going crazy over AI, AI is just a tool, right? And once the AI boom is done, it's still going to be around, but people are going to stop relying on it so much. And so I think people who have been freaking out about AI, obviously AI is making life a little bit harder for like, again, RAM prices and GPUs and all that kind of crap. And I'm not a fan of all that stuff. But at the same time, it's a temporary thing. Like the boom itself is temporary. Is Marathon really doing well? I mean, Alex Gunner, allegedly, we're going to get into that in a little bit here. Allegedly, it's doing really well. Now, how well is really well? I don't know. That remains to be seen. We will get into that in a minute, though. Let's see. Reford wishes you could toggle off the pisser. What is that? PISSR? It's just tools. The public's caught in the AI hype cycle. Exactly. When the boom's done and it's going to settle and we'll all have good uses and bad uses, it'll be 3 to 6 years of pain, I predict, but we'll see how things pan out. I mean, it'll be like anything else. It'll just be another thing that exists. So there's a few really bad takes I want to get into before we get over to Marathon. I don't know who this guy is. He's apparently a YouTuber, I imagine. PlayStation fanboy, I'm guessing. PC gamers being priced out is justice. Your knowledge starts and ends with cable management and fan speeds. Real work needs those chips. Buy a PlayStation, stop hoarding hardware. You're not a pro, you're just a gamer. Yes, get a PlayStation, you don't need anything else. I mean, holy crap. Not a YouTuber, just a moron. I'd never heard of him before. I saw Cassie and Kilted Cajun both shared this clip, and I'm like, what the hell, man? So here is this guy in his infinite wisdom for 36 seconds.
It's going to suck. You probably didn't need me or this IGN article to tell you that, but there's no foreseeable end to the memory shortages in sight, and even the most optimistic predictions only see prices stabilizing in 2026, meaning they'll stay high but stop getting worse, which is small consolation to anyone who needs a new system or an upgrade. Old hardware might be the saving grace for PCs this year, and already trends towards previous generations that started in late 2025 with a DDR4 kick, but have now extended to include downright geriatric DDR3 platforms will likely continue.
So he's not a YouTuber? I'm really confused. All right, Patriot, get some sleep. Jokes on him, I already got my memory, SSD, and vid card for my future. Yeah, there you go, exactly. I should have done that. I should have done that a while ago. I really didn't want to be spending the extra money on it. I really don't have the money for it, so whatever. PC gamers are not just gamers. Most PC Master Race folk do so much more than just gaming. I mean, I use it for... Look, I use it for what we're doing right now. I use it for video editing. It's my home computer for when I'm actually working on stuff at home. It's a computer where I have the flexibility that if I have to bring work home from work here, I can do that here. So... Can't stand PS fanboys. I mean, any console fanboy, especially in this day and age, it's kind of cringe. It's funny for the memes, but like to take it that seriously, like this dude needs to get a life. Could just get Game Pass. I'm guessing he's a PS Andy. But yeah. Real work needs those chips, then manufacture more. I mean, that would be the easy answer, right? So Cassie was like, PlayStation fanboy literally is a know-nothing propaganda machine freely marketing for Sony. Get that pony glizzy out of your throat. Kilted Cajun said, console fanboy thinks RAM issues won't affect consoles because he's too busy on his knees worshiping a little plastic box. And that's how I feel about the whole console war thing. It's not a matter of like, you don't have to love one or the other. You can play whichever console you want. But the whole idea that consoles won't be affected by it, it's just insane, right? They don't understand PC gamers and don't want to. I mean, it's just weird. It's like, I understand that if you, let's say you grew up only playing consoles and you don't have the money to build a PC and you don't know how to build a PC, okay, that's one thing. I understand. That kind of sucks. It sucks for you, whatever. But I'm not over here judging anybody who plays on a console. It's a console. It's what it's there for. So that's fine. What I don't understand is the reverse of like the hatred for people who know how to build PCs, who know how to play on PC. Like, I don't understand that. Where does that come from? Is it jealousy? I just don't understand it. I'm the resident Xbox, but you don't see me telling everyone. Exactly. Well, Cage, 5 years from now, I don't think Xboxes will even exist. So you'll be like, just get Game Pass, play on the cloud. I mean, Microsoft, Xbox, they've been trying to phase out consoles in some capacity or other for quite a while now. Here's another really terrible take. And I understand the big streamers have had the hardest time with cheaters on Arc Raiders. And I know that I even saw like Atreus shared a clip earlier where he was getting killed by cheaters shooting through walls. I get it. I've maybe encountered cheaters once or twice in the last 2 months of playing Arc Raiders. But they're getting kind of fed up with it, and it's at this point now where they're starting to blame the devs, and it kind of sucks. He said the more we play this game, the more we're all understanding that these devs don't know what they're doing. They did a great job making a great game, but all the little bells and whistles, no way. Let me see. And then this one here. This one's worth playing because I don't understand what this dude's issue is. He says, didn't even give Arc Raiders 1 hour. Now, this is a Twitch streamer, okay? And what I have noticed about Arc Raiders is the streamers tend to have some of the absolute worst takes on Arc Raiders. Like, legit. Since the game launched. They did it with Battlefield. They probably did it with Call of Duty, and they're doing it with Arc Raiders now as well. There's probably some big streamers saying Arc Raiders needs a Battle Royale mode, okay? We Xbox will gladly be assimilated to PC. Well, you might not have a choice pretty soon here. Inferiority complex, very, very likely. So here's this brilliant individual here.
A small indie game, a try. It's called Arc Raiders. You may have heard of it. It's very dark in there. Hard to see anyway.
Hang on. I just want to go back to this part right here. He says it's very dark, can hardly see anything. Man doesn't apparently realize that you have a flashlight in the game.
Have heard of it? It's very dark in there. Hard to see enemy.
Don't shoot.
The fuck? Got his ass.
Apparently that's dark. Now, one thing I will say that I have noticed, that first clip where he shot the guy, he's in a solo lobby. Most solo lobbies, depending on what map you're on, are very chill. Most people aren't shooting each other, okay? So the fact that he's even killing people in solos mode is an intentional choice on his part to probably be aggressive with other players, all right? And it's fine. I have no problem with people playing the game. Look, for example, a couple nights ago, I was on Spaceport, which is a map that tends to be more PvP heavy, but I was still playing solos because I'm just trying to accomplish a couple missions on that map. And I was having the hardest time getting it done because this freaking mission requires a key card. You got to go up this tower, and it's dog shit, right? I've gone up there a couple times, been trapped, been murdered. So I was like, screw it, we're just going to get this done. Took a couple fully kitted weapons. I think they were both like level 3 weapons with like purple and blue parts on them and all this shit. I'm going to go get this done. I run into there. There's these arc enemies that are, targeting somebody inside. He's healing up, and he's like, oh, I'm friendly. Don't worry, whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. No big deal. Dude shoots me in the back, kills me, takes all my shit, right? And it's like, okay, I was mad for about 5 seconds. I moved on. I didn't quit the game because of it. Hey, Truth, how's it going, buddy? I don't even play Ark, and this guy's a clown. Yeah. So, I mean, it just is the nature of what it is. Even in a solos lobby where people are pretty chill, you still take that risk. So again, no shame for this guy if that's the play style he wants to engage in. I'm just saying he's going to get whatever the experience is that he is intentionally looking for.
Bad at shooters, man. Okay, so how the hell do I get out of here? I don't trust myself to catch that ladder. Maybe the zip line? Ah, wait, hold on, let me cook. All right, we are good.
He's also bad at timing, obviously. Exactly, Geek. Yep. But that doesn't mean people can't do it. That doesn't mean people can't engage in combat in solos if they want to. I mean, I'm not going to... There are people who are like, oh, make a PvE only mode. I don't want to fight people. I don't care. It happens. It's part of the game, right? He's going after people like it's Call of Duty. Exactly. Wearing glasses and he might be blind. Yeah.
This game is so bad, man. Like, holy shit. What?
So he gets killed. The first clip we see of him getting knocked down is like, oh, this game's so bad.
Is there 3D in an extraction shooter, man? Whatever, dude. Okay, there we go. Done. Yep, I tried it.
I mean, again, I've said this before, I'll say it again. Streamers are trying their hardest to ruin this game. The streamers are the ones who, during Embark, taking Christmas off because they made this incredible game, and then these guys took like a week off or whatever. All the streamers were whining and crying because they wanted all these updates, patch this, patch that. Oh, this is terrible. You guys have to fix this. It's like the game has almost 400,000 people on Steam concurrently playing it every 24 hours. If the game was that bad, people would stop playing it. But the numbers don't lie, Numbers-wise, it doesn't matter exactly. He went in there hating. So Black Cat, that's the thing. It's really hard for people to understand that people like that, he's not being objective. I tried my hardest when I bought Heartbound, Pirate Software's game, to be as objective as possible. And again, I was going to give it an honest review, an honest playthrough, and just, go, you know what? I'm not going to refund the game. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to play it. I got an hour and a half in, and I looked and it said it was like a 3 or 4 hour game. I'm like, I am having such a miserable time. I truly don't want to review the game anymore. So I just refunded it because I'm like, I'm never going to go back and play this. I don't even want to continue. It was so boring, so mind-numbing. And I'm like, I'm not even going to make a video reviewing it now because I just don't care. So you didn't see me putting any clips out there online going, oh, Heartbound was so bad that I didn't even review it. No, I wanted to make a video reviewing it. I just gave up. That was the difference. It's actually a very profitable major hit for the publisher or developer. Yeah. Game's a bad subjective opinion of mine, but I get why so many people love it. And that's the thing, Burnham. Everyone's going to have a different opinion on whether the game is for them or not. This guy here says, not going to lie, I'm glad he refunded it. I think your attitude might be the problem. Skill issue, what a trash can. Bad take, but everyone has their own ideas of what makes a good game. Exactly. Again, 100% there. Kills other players on site even after one of them said don't shoot. These people are so bad. Gets killed by another player. This game is so bad. Immediate uninstall. Yeah. Yeah, Black Cat, that is a common complaint.
Small indie
not
game
being able to map your keys to any key you want. That should not be a thing. Kate quote tweeted this, said, imagine recording yourself being a bad player and thinking the game is the problem. Yeah. So Arc Raiders devs have confirmed that they're discussing turning Speranza into a fully walkable hub. This is the start of all this shit, guys. I don't want to see this. I don't want this to happen. I don't want Speranza to become a fully walkable hub like we have in other games, because it doesn't need it. I think once they start down this road of turning the game into a Destiny or another like MMO online, he reminds me of T-Dog when he tried out Helldivers 2. Not being able to map my keys is why I play with a controller on Arc. I don't play with a controller on Arc. I don't play with a controller on 99% of games that I play. The only exception I will make is when I'm playing like an Elden Ring type game. Like, I would never do Dark Souls on mouse and keyboard. No way. I know Arc isn't for me, so I don't play it. No need to crap on it. You can crap on it, though. That's the thing. But don't record yourself being genuinely awful at the game and then try to spin it as the game is bad, not you. Controller on a shooter, you. It's not even that, dude. It's not even that I'm like, I have like this superiority complex. I would probably do better on controller on a shooter if I spent the time playing. I mean, I was really good on Apex Legends on console because console lobbies are easier than PC lobbies, and I played on controller. Once I stopped playing primarily on a console and I switched to 90% of the time using mouse and keyboard, I can no longer aim. I cannot aim a shooting like a shooter on controller. I can't do it. I swear to God, I cannot do it. So, revolvers on a controller is fun. Pretend the controller is one. I can't play with the controller. My right thumb is effed up a bit, so I stick. I mean, no. It's not even like a dexterity, flexibility thing for me. It's a simply I'm so out of practice that it's terrible. You know. Mass Effect I never played. Though you may want to do it on YouTube. It's called Subverse. I've seen a couple trailers and it looks good. I'll make sure to take a look at that later. More people getting exposed to the game because the guy doesn't like it. I mean, yeah, facts. You're not wrong there. Leighton Straight. Hey, QC jerks. It's okay to be straight. They said, according to the team, there's strong interest internally. It's just a matter of when the timing feels right to open that door. A social space to explore, meet other raiders, soak in the world could be a huge upgrade. I don't know how that'd be an upgrade. Dark Souls Lilith? Hell yeah. I look, the last game I played that was an extraction shooter that had a walkable hub was the Cycle the Frontier, whatever that game was called, and the game got shut down. So maybe I'm just like having PTSD or something. I have zero desire to have a walkable hub in this game. You get into matches so quickly. You play with random people, it's fun, or you play by yourself and it's fun, or you play with your friends and it's fun. There's absolutely zero need for this. I don't know. Do not look up servers on stream. Oh man, is DB Wild trying to get me in trouble? Oh, it can't be played on YouTube, just give it a review. I'll have to take a look at that. There's tweaks to the Pro controllers. People set it to 8-bit in their software and then you get aim assist. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, there are lots of people who are PC gamers who use controller. I just don't happen to be one of them. So, getting into Marathon from the Rooster account. Marathon hits number 5 on Steam's top sellers, and he says number 1 will not surprise you. And this is going to be a bit of a back and forth between the Arc Raiders and Marathon's fans. Not that you can't like both games, not that you can't play both games, but there is a certain subset of people who are not going to touch Marathon for various reasons, and a lot of them are already playing Arc Raiders. So this is going to be something that we see quite a bit. I use controller or keyboard and mouse depending on the game. Imagine a cyberpunk-like area in Phantom Liberty where there's more immersion in the world. Not saying it's needed, but I don't know that we need the immersion. Okay, so when I talk about like having the PTSD side of it, I have seen so many games that I've played that I've loved get ruined by things just getting tweaked and nerfed and changed and updated and overhauled, and it's like it no longer looks like the game that it once was. And I understand some things are necessary. Some things need to be updated for quality of life reasons and everything else. I don't see how a walkable hub in Speranza is going to create anything more than like server lag and more things that you're going to have issues with. I don't know. How does Rivals sell its free to play? Well, you have to remove the free to play games from that category in order to not see it. Again, this is by revenue generated, not by copies sold. So in this context, what they're looking at is like the microtransactions and all. That's why Counter-Strike 2, I believe, is also free, but it's up there, yeah. Just make a damn sequel if you're going to entirely alter the game. Exactly, Oblivion. I never owned a gaming PC. It'd be hard to play mouse and keyboard. No, Lugia, honestly, you get used to it. You get so used to it, it's not even funny. Like, the very first time I tried playing mouse and keyboard, I'm like, oh, this is terrible. I can't do this. Now it's second nature. And I've been playing on keyboard and mouse for 6 years. And like I said, there's still games that I will not play on mouse and keyboard. I can. I can play Elden Ring. I can play Lords of the Fallen. I can play, a game like No Rest for the Wicked. I can technically do all those on mouse and keyboard. It's not as good. It's not comfortable. A lot of times, because you have to move your fingers in weird ways to get to the keys, it's just not comfortable to do. Counter-Strike 2 being above you is kind of a problem. I mean, Counter-Strike 2, though, based on revenue, that game has... I mean, that's the one that's got loot boxes and shit where people sell games for... or items and skins for in real-life money, don't they? It's crazy. Like, the economy for Counter-Strike is nuts. But, it is hella old. So Marathon is advertising this, saying pre-order Marathon now. Marathon releases March 5th. So they now have an official release date for Marathon, guys. And of course, all the comments down below are, a lot of people are like, well, you actually got a lot of people who are excited about it. This guy says, no thanks. Last time I paid for a Bungie game, they made it free and my expansions were permanently deleted. Looks like a looks like a free-to-play game. Not gonna lie, it's pretty ballsy of y'all to not make this a free-to-play game after Concord failed so miserably. Remember, no pre-orders. Make it free or it won't survive. So there is a lot of hate. I take it back. Did your comment get yeeted for saying hate? Let me scroll up and look. Oh, no. No, I see it. I said, yeah, just make a damn sequel if you're going to entirely alter the game. Yep, it's still there. Pretty sure the market sales also count, and as Valve gets a cut from every trade. I use controller on PC. Not that I can't use mouse and keyboard, but I hate using keyboard for moving actions. It's uncomfortable. Timing aspect is nice. The keyboard part sucks. Dude, try playing Ghost Runner on mouse and keyboard. That was one of the first games I played on mouse and keyboard, and that thing was a nightmare because you're doing wall running and deflecting and acrobatic stuff the entire game. And that shit on mouse and keyboard for like the second or third game I ever played was nuts. Let's see. Everyone after the first day returning to Speranza. No, I'll just keep playing Arc Raiders. Oh my god. The timing of this secures a lot of streamers. They're sick of cheating on Arc, and this will succeed by accident if it succeeds now. I don't even know about that. I don't even know. Yeah, I like to leave it on live chat, though, just because of when I have it on top chat, it doesn't show everything you guys say, and then it just messes everything up. So here is the pre-order trailer for Marathon. This came out within the last 14 hours. Number 23, trending number 23 on trending for gaming. So one thing I talked about for Marathon, as opposed to High Guard, Marathon has a lot of eyes on it, a lot of conversation, a lot of hype, either negative hype or positive hype, depending on how you look at it. Unlike High Guard, that has absolutely zero attention being paid to it, Marathon has an insane amount of social media coverage. Their account has like 100,000+ followers. There is a lot. Oh, for the users in the chat, thank you. Because I can't do it, Susano. I can't keep track of that. May still see them even when they do get removed, to be clear, yeah. Yeah, I mean, QC, I haven't even noticed that much cheating. Like I said, I think I've died once or twice maybe to a cheater, you know? And I've played like probably 100 hours of Arc Raiders now. It's right in that Bungie wave. Yeah, and Black Cat, you're not wrong. That the cheating is the one thing. Again, all these things, people say, oh, they need to nerf this weapon. They need to do this. They need to change the trigger nade. They need to add a walkable hub. No. Just let Embark get rid of the cheaters, and then just let the game do its own thing. You know? Just let it do its own thing. Oh, Call of Duty cheaters, though, that's like, you know, Escape from Tarkov wouldn't be the same game if it didn't have cheaters and hackers. Soulja Boy streaming on Kick? Probably. I don't know. All right, so here was the pre-order trailer for Marathon. As if we haven't seen enough of these drab colors and neon lights and all that. Dog, I don't just doesn't do it for me. I don't know.
Tau City is dying. Poisoned. Its secrets.
Good question, QC Jerks.
Buried and rotting. With the UESC holding a shovel. That's where you come in, Hunter. A living weapon, reborn every time you break.
I don't think there's a campaign. No.
The truth is in your hands. Survive or die.
I think there probably will be eventually, though. When you see the list of actors they have, the amount of money they're spending on the acting. Well, because a year ago it had no textures. So what you're saying essentially is a year ago they showed you a game trailer or, you know, a look at a game that was basically a game minus textures, colors, you know, basically just nothing. Yeah, so... Yeah, pure apathy, exactly. High Garden Splitgate 2. This game reminds me a lot of just the way I feel about Splitgate 2, you know? I can't look at this travesty without being insanely triggered. Art style's just... Yeah, exactly. By the trailer narrative, poisonous plant, go get it, but here you are in your synth body. I mean, it doesn't have to make sense, dude. Did it have textures? No, it didn't have textures. It had lines. Then when they reworked everything and they actually added a little bit of life into the game, they go, look, this rock now has texture. The grass actually has texture. Ooh, look, the things that you've been used to seeing in games for the last 20 years, we just put those in this game. You should be so impressed. So, March 25th now, they have an official release date. Insider Gaming's article here says Marathon release date made official by Bungie. After it was leaked online over the weekend, Bungie confirmed the release date of its upcoming extraction shooter Marathon. In a post on social media, Bungie announced that Marathon will launch on March 5th. In addition, they have revealed pre-order details for players. It's available for pre-order on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. I mean, there won't be any console warring over this because it's on all the consoles, except for Nintendo, because Nintendo's whatever. How long until it's free to play? Yeah, we can do that. Let me end this current one. What did you all say? Let's take a look here. 22 votes, and 50,000 or below was the top pick at 77%. See, I'm in that 100,000 and up number. That's where I'm at. It could, I mean, here's the thing, guys. We're going to get into the numbers on Steam here and all that other stuff for like sales and pre-orders and whatnot, and what that actually means. But I'm fairly confident the game is going to see more than 100,000 players at its peak. Now, again, that's only on Steam, and that just, you know, represents a small percentage of the players, but it's a good indicator of how the game is being received, right? User doesn't actually know the chat was blocked, it stays up on their end. Yeah, the whole YouTube system for chat is just a trash. It's like a dumpster fire, guys. I'm sorry. Not much I can do about it on my end. It's not the textures that are a problem, but the style. back then PUBG had rocks that looked like wet cat food and it still became a global hit. Well, yeah. That's also coming back to like virality, gameplay, what you can do in the game, all that kind of stuff. No way you expect people to fork their money out on this. I mean, Equilibrium, they are expecting people to, though. That's the thing. Let's see here. How long until Marathon is free to play? I mean, I don't see it going below. I mean, I think the game's going to be at least $40 for a year. So we'll go with I think 6 months would be insanely short. Like, I'm not even going to bother putting 6 months as an option. Let's say 1 year, 2 years, and then what would you say? Never. I think that's a decent starting point there. I only know my chat is blocked by seeing whether or not it pops up on your chat display. Well, I mean, that's one nice thing about having this little guy here, where you guys can actually see the chat. I debated for a while about whether or not that'd be smart to have on the screen, because it kind of blocks part of it, but at least that way you guys can kind of see if your chat even shows up or not. So that's definitely helpful for you guys. All right, says multiple Marathon versions to pick from. When Marathon launches, you have the option to purchase 3 different editions of the game. Oh, goody. The standard edition comes with a copy of the game along with all gameplay updates as the year progresses. Should you pre-order the game, you will also receive 0 Step 004 CE Tact. I mean, I don't care. This is just skins, guys, right? This is all just skins. And look at that. You get exotic ghost skins for Destiny 2. Now, I don't know if this is like something that's in the game that you get for Marathon that's a skin from Destiny, or if it's a skin for Destiny 2 that you get from buying this game. Very interesting how they're pairing them together. I said earlier on Twitter, and I think that I'm validated by what I've seen from Marathon. What they should have done, instead of making a whole new game, they should have just made a DMZ extraction type mode, like what Call of Duty did, where they had the extraction mode in Destiny 2. Rather than build an entire game and waste hundreds of millions of dollars, because wait till you see the cast for this game, guys. The voice acting alone, they are spending a fortune, I'm sure. They should have just made an extraction mode for Destiny. It'll go free to play when they realize that nobody sticks around to play it. It's possible. I'll pay extra to look like a flamboyant, bi-woke, non-binary robot. Some will buy the game just for the Destiny 2 thing. I mean, it's possible. You might an account they're testing things out on as well, which isn't rolled out to other accounts. I mean, Susano, my account also half the time I can't even. A lot of people have complained that after the live stream is done, they can't see the live chat on the replay. That's not on my end. That's on YouTube censoring it and saying we blocked live chat because offensive things were said. You know, it's nothing you can do. It is what it is. All right, it says a step above that is the deluxe edition. This version of the game includes all the standard content, a 1x premium rewards pass voucher, 200 silk rewards pass tokens, cosmetics, yada, yada, yada. It's just more cosmetics and tokens, guys. Then it says, lastly, the collector's editions comes with everything from the other 2 editions of Marathon, along with a 1/6 Thief Runner Shell statue, a collectible miniature weave worm, an embroidered patch, postcards, and other digital rewards. So you can see what all that looks like right here. So basically, your collector's edition comes with a bunch of shit that looks like shit. And then, of course, some additional downloads for Destiny 2 and skins for your runner. So, oh goody. And I have tried. I have looked through all the cosmetics. Unfortunately, we looked at it all on the live stream on Monday. And then by the time I got around to recording my video talking about the skins that were leaked for Marathon, like for my follow-up video, they'd all been taken offline because they were leaked. They weren't supposed to show them yet. But basically, the thing about Marathon's skins, the cosmetics in this game, you know, at least with Apex Legends and other games that do a lot with microtransactions, you'll have your base character model. Then you'll have different color variants for that base model. Then they will add a whole bunch of different, like, you know, styled armors, and then they'll do recolors of those armors and everything else. With Marathon, it is legit like the same style armor for everything, and it's just a different color set, and that's about it. So all of your different cosmetics, it's the same shitty looking armor, just colored differently. It's completely insane. Looks like a bootleg Warframe mini, no kidding. Dude, Warframe had such a great vibe. Very rare is it when I can see a live chat if I'm watching a stream after the fact. Yeah, exactly. And people have complained about that on my channel for like the last year and a half. And I'm like, guys, I have gone through and looked, and it is set to put the live chat on the chat replay, or on the stream replay. So it's a lot of white on white. All subjective, but has anyone reliable actually shown the gameplay is improved? The beta was brutal. Well, there's going to be another open beta before the game launches. I think that comes out next month. I've been seeing them talk about. So Pirate Nation got this wrong. It said Marathon's Collector's Edition costs $190. This is insane. Does not contain a game code, physical disc, or digital copy. It actually does. It comes with the digital copy of the game. So that's wrong. However, it is going to be like $190. Reinstall Warframe. Isn't that like 200 gigabytes of game? Like, holy shit, that's a lot to reinstall. Marathon is at number 5 on Steam's top sellers chart after launching pre-orders today. I mean, look at what it's ahead of. I mean, we've thrown enough shade at Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, so no extra shade needed, really. But it's sitting here at number 7. Behind it is Warframe at number 6, and Warframe is an old-ass game. Kind of like you talked about, Susanna, with Counter-Strike 2 here, and Marvel Rivals being a free-to-play game. I mean, this isn't exactly stiff competition, if we're being honest. Yeah, the exclusive Ultimate Premium Collector's Edition, $190. Of course, people are also a little worried because Marathon is using Battle Eye Anti-Cheat, same software Bungie is using for Destiny 2. People down here saying, and there goes running it on Steam Deck, that sucks. Welp dang. So no anti-cheat then. Cheaters are rejoicing. Oh, this game is dead, so the anti-cheat is broken then. Full auto and flying hacks day 1. Participation award for 5th. Yeah, and KCD2U is a year old, and it is a niche game, you know. Does that statue jerk me off and cook me dinner? I mean, it could. Possibly, I don't know. With enough imagination. Of course, you've got the Marathon Bulletin official account here going, Marathon, and again, when I say official, I mean verified. It's a fan account. Says, Marathon has hit number 5 on Steam's top seller list in the US just 3 hours after pre-orders opened. Concord 2.0 Doomers in shambles right now. Look, I've said before, I'll say it again, the game was never going to be Concord 2. It's fun to poke fun at it and say, oh, you know, comparisons of Concord, right? Because the ugly characters and everything else, $40 price tag. There were comparisons, legitimate comparisons to make with Concord. The difference is, I fully believe this game was always going to do better than Concord. Kind of like what I said about Assassin's Creed Shadows, about games like, you know, hell, what other dog shit games have we seen the last couple of years now? Oh, Ghost of Yotei and all that. These were always games that were going to make some money. They were always going to sell some copies. Now, I don't know that Marathon's going to make money because I don't know what the budget was. The budget could be insane for this game. For 190 at better. Yeah. Do you really want that to happen? It would probably decal up. Yeah, exactly. We know the Steam Deck has only sold about 5 to 6 million units. So how is it usually? So that list is, you know, yeah, High Guard is Concord 2, like 100%. That list is based on total revenue. So you got to look at it. It's not just the number of units sold. It's based on the amount of money that those 5 to 6 million units have made. So it's not just the list is not a complete picture of what you're looking at. It doesn't mean just copies sold. I don't care if people borrow ideas or whatever, but you don't go around stealing other people's work. No, Susano, I think, and I said this in my video last night, I think that's one of those things that is still going to be a major holdup for a lot of people who may have been interested in the game, is the fact that they were like, you guys legit stole art from somebody who was just an independent artist. That's a no-no for a lot of people. A lot of people take that shit really seriously. All right, so here you go. Here is the voice cast of Marathon just in English, okay? Yeah, selling 5 million Steam Decks is a good chunk of money. What's the price of a Steam Deck? $600? I don't even know. I don't own one. Somewhere between 400 and 600. So multiply that times 5 or 6 million. That's why it's sitting there at the top of the list. All right, no worries, DB Wild. Don't be gay. I'll try not to. If I'm going to be gay, I'll make sure you're here for it. I don't even know who half these people are. I do know, I recognize Ben Starr. Let's see. Jennifer English, obvious name that sticks out right there. A lot of names. Huge list of actors and actresses. I'm sure some of these I would recognize. I feel like I know this Fred Tatasciore. I don't know how to pronounce that. Aaron Yvette sounds familiar. We also don't know what she got paid. What is fair compensation for a multi-million-dollar project? Well, they settled. It wasn't even like a paycheck. It was like a settlement. Jennifer English, the Zendaya of gaming. I will say, she was great as Mael in Expedition 33. Like, and yes, Ben Starr is in everything. This is why I said I can't imagine this game won't have a single player mode at some point, because look at the freaking cast. What do you need this many voice actors in a freaking extraction shooter for, unless you're going to have a campaign mode of some sort? Now, no Troy Baker, no Deborah Wilson that I saw. But is Deborah Wilson, she is English, she's American. Is Troy Baker American, or is he British? Because, oh no, but Jennifer English is British. This is just for the English version. So I don't know. Hey, Rabnad. How you doing, buddy? She has a good voice, even though she's retarded, the poor thing. Yeah, it's kind of how I feel about it. So again, massive amount of money. And then you got the salty people, the salty marathon fanboys with, again, the marathon runner in the profile bio here. Him, 27 years old. And you've got a... Okay, I'm not even going to go there. Okay, for real, I'm not sorry. It is pitiful that Arc Raiders uses AI for its voices from a voice bank when Marathon has such a stacked cast with no use of AI for their voices. Genuinely mogs Arc for that reason alone. So if you use the word mogs, I'm going to assume you're either Gen Z or retarded. Yes, queer joy, exactly. Give me some of that queer joy.
We were just discussing ideas of what to do with the new Prince Eric movie.
Put a chick in it, make her gay. Put a diverse woman in it, make it gay.
But Mrs. Kennedy, Bambi's a baby deer.
Fuck baby deer, put a chick in it, make her gay.
But again, people that use the word mogs, it makes me think of that retard Clavicular, that streamer that's 19 who's infertile because he's taken so much meth and steroids and done so many like plastic surgeries to look max. I'm sorry, guys. If you don't know who that is, look him up. He's a complete retard. Anybody who uses the term mogs, it's either that or like Nick Fuentes and shit. I'm like, come on, guys. It's a stupid term. This guy here says, that's cool. None of the voice actors matter if the game sucks. What matters is content and quality of content. What matters is how fast they update and address cheaters. Let's see what happens. Agreed. Anyone who proclaims any of that info can go into the wood chipper. I mean, yeah, yeet is another retarded one. You guys, you know what was a retarded expression that wasn't a Gen Z thing? On fleek. Holy shit, that got on my nerves. That was primarily like black millennial women that used that on fleek thing. But yeah, yeet was another retarded one. I don't even know if that was Gen Z or millennial. It might have been millennials. Notice how stacked the voice cast is for Marathon instead of 11 Labs ass voice generation crap that GPT Raiders got. That makes Marathon automatically the better option. Dude. Deep Rock Galactic has like 2 voice actors doing all the voices and it's awesome. Yeah. Here's the thing. As somebody who has played a ton of Arc Raiders, I will say this. The voice acting of Celeste, the traitor that you spend the most time talking to, sucks. She is the worst voiced actor or character in the game. She probably has most of her lines written by AI or spoken by AI. That being said, I spend about 10 seconds every time I'm playing an hour of Arc Raiders actually hearing her dialogue. I'm jumping over there, grabbing the supplies I need, and going back into a match. I don't care. I got it from Spiffing Brit. What'd you get from Spiffing Brit? Gooners? Yeah, it's another one. Account based in India. $10 says this game will be heavily pirated. I really wouldn't doubt it. I could see a lot of people wanting to try it but refuse to give them a red cent. I mean, who knows? Who actually knows at this point? But apparently the biggest thing they have going for it is we didn't use AI for our voices. Yay. Oh, the occasional use of yeet. Yeah. I mean, I don't hate yeet as much as I hate mogs. Mogs, for me, evokes something where I just want to reach out and slap the person saying it. I hate currently the word grifter is misused. Grifter, yeah, true. That's another one that gets misused. Into the wood chipper. No. Smeg was the one that was supposed to be putting people in the wood chipper, and if he's not here tonight, there's no wood chipper. All right, so let's go ahead and deviate. You have no idea what mog means? It means like owns, like ownage. So if somebody's mogging somebody else, it's that they're beating them. You know, they're owning them. Yeah, guys, this next generation's cooked, okay? I'm hoping Gen Alpha can fix some of this shit because this next generation is purely, like, genuinely retarded. Anyways, speaking of retarded stuff, let's talk about this this game, Amelia. Yes, Geekazu, you know. This game, what was it, Pathways? Now, the funny thing is, this was a UK indoctrination game of sorts that was supposed to basically teach people that being racist and an extremist is bad, right? Pogs? No, Mogs. It's Mogs. Pogs were awesome, though. Oh, Hassan word. So anyways, Pathways was put out there by the British government, much like we've seen with other games over the last couple of years, to try to correct wrongthink, right? The game was then pulled offline. It went back online, and it's been acclaimed that they actually removed one part of the game, which I think was an alternate ending, which we'll play in a minute. But we have from Know Your Meme a little 2-minute video that'll teach you everything you should need to know about Amelia going into this next segment here. So here you go.
Have found yet another goth girl to obsess over, but this one is just a little more problematic than the usual fare. Her name is Amelia, and she's an antagonist
play the
in
guy.
the
I don't have time to play
UK
it tonight.
government-funded
anti-extremist
video game Pathways. So why have our right communities on social media decided to embrace Amelia as a symbol of anti-immigration? Here's what you need to know. Pathways is an educational visual novel and learning experience created by the UK media company Shoutout UK, with funding from the UK government's Prevent program run by the Home Office. The game is meant to teach the youth about the dangers of radicalization and extremism in both real life and online. This is done by putting players in the role of a character named Charlie, who must navigate 6 different scenarios relating to extremism. In the second scenario, the player is introduced to the character Amelia, a staunch anti-immigration protester depicted as a goth girl with purple hair, a pink dress, and a choker. While players are not meant to take Amelia's side, one side of the internet has recently decided to turn her into a controversial waifu.
So base.
Amelia garnered widespread attention on sites like Twitter and Reddit in January 2026, when people began complaining about the way that Pathways purportedly portrays teens who question immigration policies as extremists. However, rather than denouncing Amelia's rhetoric as Pathways intended, far-right social media users and trolls have banded together to turn Amelia into a symbol for anti-immigration in the UK. This has resulted in a flood of fan art, memes, and posts celebrating Amelia, many of which are gaining tens of thousands of likes and reposts. Under one Reddit post, a user writes, "Wait, are you telling me they made the cute goth e-girl the racist? Do they understand how the internet works?" Suggesting that the internet loves goth girls too much to hate Amelia. As the posts multiplied, users began reporting that the game would no longer
I saw that Charlie is they, them. We'll get into that in one second because there's another clip. I think it's from the part of the game that was removed.
Amelia's sequence, with some noting that her scenario appeared to be removed entirely. A screenshot showing the title stuck on an infinite loading screen has fueled speculation that developers disabled the game to curb the online reaction. As of now, the Pathways site remains inaccessible, and the Amelia segment cannot be played.
I mean, it's also possible that the site was getting flooded with traffic too, isn't it? I mean, that's another possibility. Oh, Pepe, yeah. When propaganda backfires massively? Exactly. So the clip you were that I was talking about is right here. And again, they call Charlie they, them, because I guess you can pick to play as girl or boy Charlie, so they just call it they, them.
Charlie was furious that the teacher felt they needed support with their political views.
But this says Amelia ending, and it's apparently data mined from the game directly. The Amelia ending is real. Praise be Amelia. Okay, here we go.
Charlie was so insulted that they stormed out and went to see their friend Amelia.
Is this a meter that like
Together,
that
the pair
detects you're
increased the
racist, like
amount of
how
content
racist
they
you are in the
shared,
game?
attracting the attention of not just the teacher, but their parents and police too. By not accepting help in time, Charlie had given themselves an opportunity to break the law with the things they were saying and the actions they chose to take.
So this is the part people were hyper focused on from this part here that I guess is an alternate ending. Maybe they scrapped it because they realized how it sounds. By not accepting help in time, Charlie had given themselves an opportunity to break the law with the things they were saying. Think about how messed up that is. To break the law with the things they were saying and the actions they chose to take. This is dystopian as shit. Like, and again, I saw that apparently there were cops that went to some woman's house in Florida because of some retarded bill that Ron DeSantis signed back in 2023 about hate speech and all that, and they went visiting some woman in Florida. It's not just the UK, guys. It's even happening in red states, too. So, the way they phrase that shit, yeah, exactly. My kid would be doing the worst thing in the game she could. She finds it funny. I mean, I 100% could agree with that. Breaking the law, yeah. Hey, Geek, you said it, not me. Okay. So here you go. This is a great one. Sorry for getting us kicked out of the bar, Anon, but that Packy wouldn't leave me alone. I mean, the memes have been fantastic. And then, of course, you get these really retarded, angry people saying, a trend I've observed recently is weird British racists fantasizing about a girlfriend they call Amelia who shares their depraved political views. They do this because these losers are collectively incapable of actually attracting women and thus have to fantasize instead. You know, the funny thing is, most the quote-unquote online bigot, incel, right-wing, chud, bro, gamergate, racists that I know are all either married or have girlfriends or have kids. So clearly not incels, right? That's the craziest part. When Australia banned social media, they had an ad where they were talking about your boys becoming extremists. Exactly, yeah. The main takeaway is people can report that you may need help to become radical. To not become radical, exactly. Check his country. This is from the Left Take. Oh, in the UK. Well, allegedly in the UK. Based in the United Kingdoms. Married, love the incel comments. QC jerks. I had one person online, actually more than one. When I put the poll on YouTube about Amelia Clark, no, sorry, not Amelia Clark. She's also hideous. Sophie Turner versus Angelina Jolie for Tomb Raider. I had people on Twitter telling me if I didn't think Sophie Turner was hot, I was gay. So straight up telling me if you don't find a woman hot who a lot of people don't find appealing is because you are a homosexual, despite the fact that you're married, attracted to hot women, have kids and all that other stuff. If you don't find this particular woman hot, you must be gay. It's like, all right, if that's where we're going to go with this logic, I guess anybody that you don't think is hot, I could say you're gay for not finding them attractive, I guess. I don't know. Soy boys are the ones who can't get girls, but they don't like girls anyways, pretty much. I'll take that. Call me gay, but Sophie's a toaster. Yeah. People say all the time it's stupid. Yeah, looks are subjective. But here's the thing. Looks are subjective, and like I said, if you find Sophie Turner to be the most beautiful woman on the planet, I can't argue with you because that's your opinion. The problem is, looks may be subjective, attraction is subjective, but collective attraction is objective. It's objective because you can look at what society thinks is hot. Why is Sydney Sweeney so hyped up by everybody online? Because objectively, the majority of men find her attractive. Now, each man subjectively finds her attractive for different reasons on their own, but objectively, you can look at society and say Sydney Sweeney is hot because most people find her hot. So she is objectively hot, So I'll call you gay at any chance, but I agree with you. Exactly. There you go. I kind of wish they didn't turn the counterculture look into this nonsense. I mean, it is what it is, unfortunately. They're just running with the meme that they've got. So, of course, we've also seen memes like this. Cabrutus put this one out there saying, I wish I was British. British men for Amelia. Mass immigration. Yeah. He had another one, too, I think. Let me see here. Seriously, if I were British, I'd make a page or YouTube channel just for this. Amelia teaching the world about British contributions. Before Britain arrived, India had forgotten its history because no one could read Brahmi's script. Then James Prinsep arrived, a brilliant British polymath who deciphered it. He worked tirelessly, traveling across India, studying its secrets. Thanks to him, India's ancient past was unlocked, including Ashoka, whose chakra is on modern India's flag. It's funny because that's true. That's the funny part. De gustibus non est disputandum. My Latin school kick in. What does that mean? Let me see. I go by ear when it comes to women. That's how Claudia Black is my celebrity crush since I was 8 years old and first heard her voice in Farscape. Dude, my thing about women is, or men, because again, women are allowed to be attracted to men too. There's nothing wrong with that. Is there'll be people in life who are like artificially propped up. For example, Brad Pitt was objectively a good-looking guy, but subjectively, I didn't understand why everyone thought that he was like the hottest guy when I was a kid. As far as like the women all like swooned over Brad Pitt. But because of that, he got all the roles. Now, does that mean that he was legitimately the hottest guy available? No, but he was the one that was propped up, right? Oh, you don't argue about other people's tastes? Yeah, fair enough. Without the Western people dumping money into researching history and culture, most history would have been lost. No, I did know that basically India only exists in its condition that it's in now, good, bad, or otherwise, because of the British Empire. Women liked his looks, not men per se. I could see that. I mean, a lot of men find Henry Cavill to be like, I wish I looked like that Henry Cavill, right? And a lot of women don't find him attractive. So, I don't know. Am I going to call all women gay for not liking Henry Cavill? Yeah, James Franco, that's an odd one. That one I'll never understand. All right. So, there are a lot of parodies out there with Amelia. This is one that popped up on my YouTube algorithm. It says, Amelia changed my life. It's a Pathways UK parody. I'm guessing it's an AI song. Let's take a look at this one.
Amelia, you changed my life. Some things I won't sacrifice. Patriotism.
That's a hell of a name on Rumble. Trump grabbed my puss. Well, welcome to the channel. So much Amelia material. Yeah, I'll do this so much. It's funny, I know that not everyone likes AI music, but honestly, a lot of it slaps. Exactly, Cage. Nothing wrong with that. Well, to be fair, Avernum, it really depends on if it all keeps sounding the same, it's going to kind of like play itself. It's going to run its course, right? So the problem with a lot of AI music is it's pretty easily detectable as AI. Once it's no longer as easy to detect, there's a couple AI songs that are out there that are really hard to tell. A couple AI bands. The song's Peak, I know, right? Reminds me of the one they did for Asmongold. I don't think I ever saw that one. That's why AI is great. You can get ideas that would take months out. So I've heard that same argument too for things like game development, script writing, all that kind of stuff. If AI can be used to make complicated tasks a little more simplified and take like the mundane tasks out of the hands of somebody who would be better suited to do better things, I mean, nothing wrong with that, you know? Are you telling me that pop music doesn't sound the same now? I don't listen to pop music now. Is there an AI song about me? I don't know. Trump grabbed my puss. Are you significant enough over there on Rumble that somebody made a song about you? I don't think anyone's made a song. Oh, no, it's not true. DB Wild made my intro song, but that's only because he's awesome. Lots of kids don't like it, and they're hearing something I can't figure out. Problems when AI starts copying itself, like when you tell ChatGPT to make the same image 1,000 times and entropy sets. Yeah, that could be a thing.
Way to show someone how much you care. It is like this
AI is bad, real talent only. Also left buys every Miku album.
I love you. This many dollars worth.
I wish Amelia would be a Nickelback.
Dude, Lucia, there are people who are trying to get like Creed or Nickelback or somebody else to perform at the halftime show of the Super Bowl instead of that freaking Bad Bunny crap that we're gonna have. Dude, Nickelback, that would be awesome. Have her be in Nickelback. Somebody could probably do that though. I play Titanfall, the Butch Les Britton. She hates the crap going on, says our country's run by a bunch of pussies. Dude, honestly, even like the liberal Brits, I know a woman who's probably in her 50s. She's a Twitch streamer, and she quit years ago because she was taking care of her elderly mom. And she's a tattoo artist and stuff. Really cool chick, really awesome, really funny. Has that old sassy British chick thing going on. And she was very liberal. Hated the Conservative Party because they're a bunch of like pussies and stuff, but I'm very much in line with a lot of this anti-immigration shit. So Space Marine, I'm still standing cover? I don't think I heard that. Yeah, classic liberal. That's again another part of it too.
Thought police on every street, watching every word we speak. Free exchange.
I'm actually more impressed by the animation. For this, obviously all being AI, the animation's pretty good.
A silent fear, a ministry of truth draws near.
I mean, I'm not noticing anybody with like 6 fingers or anything obviously out of place. The fever dream a little bit. You know, QC Jerks, something about that, I really wanted to expand on that in a video on the second channel. I was thinking about making a short and putting it on Twitter earlier today because a lot of idiots, a lot of retards are conflating. For example, if you've seen in Minneapolis, the dude who was standing outside of his house with his stupid AR-15 or whatever he had on him, this fat guy who could barely get the strap around him, right? And he's standing there like, oh, I'm just here to protect my neighborhood from ICE and all this stuff. It's like, okay, so you're here to protect your neighborhood from the federal government. Now, as the 2A guy, as somebody who understands that we have the preamble to the Constitution, which basically says, in the case of emergency, break glass, replace the government if they're tyrannical. I understand that the reason we have guns is to protect ourselves from the government first and foremost. The problem is we all have to collectively get to a point where we decide the government must be abolished, and then that's when people have to use their Second Amendment right to then remove the people in power. Just saying, I'm going to stand outside my house to protect illegal immigrants from the federal government who comes there to remove people who have broken in illegally, and I'm going to stand there as a show of force with my gun. It's not the same thing, right? But people have been saying, well, what's with all these 2A people saying that this guy shouldn't do it? It's like, well, threatening the federal government without just cause is probably not a great idea. It's people who don't understand what the Second Amendment is. So are we at a point where people are going to eventually have to decide if they need to overthrow the government? I don't know. That's not something where I even want to think about it. Like, I can't imagine a world where we're actually at war with our own government, like an actual physical war with deaths and combat and all that other shit. But it's just crazy that people conflate the two things. Some random retard standing outside his house threatening ICE with a rifle. Yeah, that's not it. That's not the same thing. Here's another good one. Hang on a sec. This is a shorter one here. It says Amelia isn't going away, and he tagged Keir Starmer and a bunch of people in England. My sons are Gen Z. They might actually be aliens. Let's see here.
Tonks?
No, I'm Amelia. We need to talk about Islam in the UK.
Catholic, Protestant, atheist. We're all buggered if Islam takes over.
Witches must be burnt, of course, but honour killing your daughters for not wearing hijab is much too far.
But Wallace, dogs are haram. If the Muslims take over, Gromit is a goner.
Pigs are haram too, Pepper. Your entire family line ended.
And forget LGBT acceptance. Muslims will toss them out the window. Literally. First, we remove the Islamists from our government and our country, Paddington. Then marmalade.
Oh my god. Anime girl with thick British accent took me off guard, won't lie. I'd smash. I think most guys would. I think you should switch music style every year. Recently, it's basically the same type. Okay, so Geekazu, let's see. Let's go back through that list you have there. Bad Bunny, Kendrick Lamar, Usher, Rihanna, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, The Weeknd, Shakira, Jennifer Lopez. What do all those people have in common? Well, they were all handpicked by the same guy to perform at the Super Bowl. We can't let Peppa Pig die. It's one of those things where it's like it's really not politically correct to point it out that it's the Diddy. It's the other half of Diddy. It's freaking Jay-Z. Jay-Z is like the Diddy who got away with it, you know? One of these days there'll be a documentary about Diddy. Not Diddy, sorry, there already was that. I mean about Jay-Z. Where is that? Oh, here you go. Here's the anime one that we were talking about. They're doing voice modulation in AI videos on purpose. The other half of Diddy sounds like the title of his future book. Yeah. But yeah, Geek, that's why we're not going to actually ever have another white rock performer ever at the Super Bowl, which is crazy to me. Like, it's absolutely insane. There are so many good rock bands, old, new, modern, contemporary, whatever. I mean, most of what I listen to is like German, Swedish, and Scandinavian rock bands anymore. I don't listen to most American music. I'll go on Spotify and I'll pull up any of the list of Scandinavian bands from the last 20 years, and it's all better than 90% of the music on the radio here. So here is the anime one from Leaflet. It says Amelia, the Last Rose of Albion. I saw a bit of this on Leon's stream earlier. It seems pretty legit.
ねえチャーリー、イギリスのこと好き？
どうして行かないなんて言ったんだろう。君はただ僕らの未来を送ってくれていたのに。
行こう、世界を変えに。
残念ねチャーリー君。そんな有害な考えを持っているなんて更生施設に入ってもらうわね。許されることではないの。
Dude, this works so well. Oh my god. Oh yeah, Ghost would be good.
文化を守りたいっていう気持ちのどこが悪いの？みんな自分の生まれた国や文化が大事なはずでしょう。悪いことだなんて私には思えない。
Dude, this legit could be a real anime. Not even lying. This could be, like, they could actually do, like, full episodes, full segments of this. Married a Muslim, had a kid with her from Southeast Asia, and it's a very big thing. But it's not all same people in Europe. Animation's much better. I mean, this is really well done. I'd still smash. Oh, yeah, no, unfortunately, we're not going to get a Super Bowl performance worth giving a shit about anytime soon. Let's be fair. But yeah, I found this whole thing fascinating. I should have covered it back last week when the game was actually being talked about, but I just didn't have time. Between work and life and everything else going on, it was just nuts. Let me see. 5 out of 10 didn't end with credits along with the cast doing a coordinated dance. Yeah, see, but that's why I liked it. I'm not big into like the classic anime tropes, you know? Anyway, is it Friren or Friren? Friren or Friren? I don't know. It's pretty much that. But demons are the invaders. Oh, nice. Oh, I love Volbeat. Although Volbeat is Danish, technically. So still Scandinavian. Dude, if I had my list, like I could pull up my Spotify. Like the bands I listen to. Let me think. I don't even know how to freaking pronounce the name. How is that Breaking Burner? They said that earlier. Harmeet Dillon put Don Lemon on notice like this morning. Just crazy. How do you pronounce the name of this band? I think this is how you spell it. I have to look them up on Spotify. They are one of the bands I listen to the absolute most. I've shared some of their music on Discord, and I, for the life of me, cannot remember like how to pronounce it properly. You missed it? Yeah, Wagon Burner. That was this morning, dude. You were like I know you cover a lot of other news. That's all good. Tropes are never much my thing unless the animator's poking fun of them, like in Gintama. Yeah, y'all are a bunch of weebs compared to me. Even if there are some of you who only watch like one anime, compared to me, everyone in this chat is a weeb, okay? And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I just don't personally watch any anime. One of these days, maybe when I have more time and the inclination to get on there and actually look it up, but let me see here. Increasing prices knocks Radeon RX 97 and RTX 5070 Ti out of top spot. Oh god, guys, computer prices are getting insane. Sabaton's awesome. Love Sabaton. But I can't remember how to pronounce the other band's name. Anyways, let's move on to the last topic real quick here. Warhammer. Ghost in the Shell would hook you. Dude, Ghost in the Shell, the intro. I've seen the intro a few times. Really good, really cool. You're right to be mad at Warhammer's new Custodes, but not for the reason you think. So, I know that a lot of you guys are probably more into this stuff than I am. I've played like 1 or 2 Warhammer video games. Not even like the Total War ones, just, you know, like the first-person shooter ones and all that. Not something that I personally care too much for. I think the aesthetic is cool. I love the idea behind Warhammer. The, you know, conflict and all the different civilizations constantly at war, hate each other, no good guys, grimdark. It's all awesome, right? Play Space Marine 2 these days. It's so good. Yeah, I mean, Space Marine 2 looked like a lot of fun. Go watch Vinland Saga at the very least. That's another one I've heard about. He's got the tennis player chick crip walking. What a clown show that was. Vanessa Serena Williams. Yeah. Heresy. I've ever given fun on PC and never played any of them. Yeah, exactly. Susano, I have got on Epic, I have got probably like 7 Warhammer games that I've gotten for free, and I've never played a single one, dude. Keep getting them gifted for some reason. No idea if they're good or not. I'm sure at least some of them are good. But this was a thing. In Flames? Sounds familiar. If they're a Swedish or German band, I'm sure that they've popped up on my Spotify at some point, guys. Like, I'm not even kidding. So if I go through, like, my list of bands that I currently listen to, so this is in no particular order. I've got Brothers of Metal, Symphony of Sweden, Follow the Cipher, Amaranth, Nightwish, Chronic Temple, Eclipse. What else we got? Obviously, Sabaton. I know Dynasty is one of those other ones. The guy from Dynasty is in Amaranth. Takeda. Obviously Volbeat, a whole bunch of bands. Mid-90s? Yeah, I mean, it's just a nice eclectic group of, you know, different styles of the same kind of music but done differently, you know. So this whole thing with Warhammer has been pretty fascinating to watch the last couple of years. Basically, the entire franchise is trying to kill itself. And as somebody who never really knew much about Warhammer, I was excited when I heard that Henry Cavill was going to be running a show on Amazon, and then that whole thing got like delayed and pushed back. Now it's finally going to happen. They managed to, you know, ink a deal on paper, but we still don't have any information about when the show's actually happening, right? Space Marine 2 looks like Temu Gears to me. Can't dig it. Space Marine 2 looked okay to me. I didn't have a problem with the way the game looked. I just didn't care, really. Games Workshop wants to play a war of lore. All it would take to kill this BS is someone making a 3D movie where the real Custodes and Sisters of Silence went around and killed female Custodes because they're chaos. That would be pretty epic. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Says another Warhammer reveal show, another subset of the hobby community seething with rage at the newly showcased miniatures. It's not because that alien bounty hunter in Huron Blackheart's Dishonor Guard should have been a Kroot mini instead. It's not because the Aldari Corsairs don't have enough peg legs to be considered proper pirates. Both complaints are undeniably true, but the reason Warhammer players are going positively apoplectic online this time around, they're mad about women again. So I'm not going to go through the article from The Gamer. These guys are just doing the same sweeping shit for Games Workshop that they've been doing. Of course, you go back to last year, Games Workshop, or a year and a half ago, wanted to be like, oh no, there's always been female Custodes. It's always been a thing, even though it literally had never been a thing, right? Let's see, big chest, no neck, art direction. Another Cretan LARPing as a journalist. Well, it's The Gamer. What do you expect? That's what they do. I don't understand anything they wrote in that first paragraph. Susano, that makes two of us. Like I said, I am not going to pretend and sit here and pretend to be like a Warhammer expert and know all the lore. I'm just documenting this. That's all we're doing here. We're just, going over the information that we have. The models themselves, though. Let's just talk about the fact that they're taking these characters who essentially, I guess, started out as clones. Correct me if I'm wrong. They were created from the gene from the God Emperor himself, correct? Like, I'm pretty sure that was how this lore went. I don't know. It's been a while since I've even looked into this shit. And then, of course, there are variations over time, but it was taken where they took males from families, the firstborn sons or whatever, and they would take them and alter their genes and train them to fight and all this other crap, right? And then somewhere along the lines, they changed the lore to say, oh no, and women too. There were always females. And now this is what we have. This is the end result of adding female characters. At least the CEO of Saber is based. Yeah, no. Matthew Kark is pretty cool. Pretty cool dude. It's that thing again. They still mad about that. It's the continuation of it. Because we hadn't seen a whole lot of this, not clones per se, but the genome of the Emperor. Okay. Males are females to them, so in their mind, they were always females. It's just the continuation of it, because we have not reached the culmination of it yet. Because as I understand it, before this, we didn't really have a Custodes set that had female Custodes, if you want to call this thing a female. And so now we do. Of course, we've seen in some of the videos, the series, I think it's on Amazon. There's it's on Warhammer Plus. There's a series where they now have a female Custodes character. And she just looks like a dude. She looks like a troon. It's crazy, right? I do wonder why they're doing this, though. This isn't really what female gamers want. No, it's not what anybody wants, but it's what Warhammer wants because of diversity points, right? So now we have this hideous-looking thing. I mean, this thing is truly god-awful. It's butt ugly, all right? It's just a freak of nature. It doesn't look imposing. It doesn't look badass. It looks ugly as hell. Because you're trying to make a woman and turn her into an enhanced man. And it just doesn't work, okay? It's a testosterone jacked up female. Of course it looks hideous. Exactly. It's basically a transgender, is what it looks like. That staff is wrong too. There's supposed to be a trigger because that staff is a gun also. Also, they just screwed the whole thing up. Fantastic. Maybe they did have those rules in place with the MGM and whatnot. They put a gun on a freaking stick. I mean, the gun on the stick was a real thing. Like Wagenburner said, again, I'm not an expert in Warhammer lore, but they've got crazy-ass weapons in the lore. Ma'am, exactly, Avernum. Seen Sargon's take on Warhammer, they want to change it because the women are oppressed and they cannot have men-only spaces. I mean, Sargon's not wrong, and Sargon, at least, Carl Benjamin is a fan of the franchise, of the actual story. He has been one of those guys since day one saying this shit isn't right, you know? But I haven't seen it lately. Actually, I just finally watched Lotus Eaters for the first time today in a long ass time. It's a day of them if I ever saw one. Yeah. So it's from Wagenburner over on Twitter says Games Workshop Warhammer 40k Heresy female Adeptus Custodes models invade the Emperor's elite. Just look at the gym testosterone abused women. They look awful. Guys, I had a video I was going to show at the beginning of the stream that was a team of midget men against a team of like tall Amazon women doing like weightlifting and shit. And it was funny because I guess they broke even as far as like the different exercises they were doing or whatnot. Used to game with him a long time ago. Don't keep up with what he's doing these days. V2. Yeah, Romanian V, yeah. V called me gay on Twitter one time. So, screw V. No, so I was playing Chivalry 2. And Chivalry 2 is a fine game. Nothing wrong with Chivalry 2. It's a stupid game. You jump in, you jump out, and it's not a kind of game I'm going to sink hundreds of hours into. But for the few weeks I was playing it, it was fun. And somebody in the game had the name Romanian V. And I'm like, oh, it might be him. So on Twitter one time I asked him, I'm like, hey, you play Chivalry 2? And he's like, no, I don't play LGBT games. I'm like, fuck you, man. Midgets would have center of gravity and testosterone on their side. Yeah, no, any of the like deadlifts or squats, those kind of things, the midgets kick their ass. It was hilarious. All the women fighting for this representation are men, 100%. Yep. Still LARPing the atheist, moralist Redditor on Twitter. Pretty much. A lot of the expanded lore has interesting aspects, but the core game stuff is a little nonsensical. They do have a lot of justifying to make it work logically. Well, Oblivion, the crazy thing about Warhammer is it's not just, it's not just like the Imperium where it's like, genetically modified super soldiers and stuff. Oh, that's cool. And they got guns and wet axes and chainsaws and shit. Oh, that's awesome. Whatever. Then you've got orcs and you've got magic and you've got other alien races and you're like, in the whole thing about Warhammer, like the amount of lore there is, it makes my mind hurt thinking about it. Because it's like, how do you cram all that into the same franchise, right? We can take over Barbie. They have our toys, I want theirs. I mean, I don't want anything to do with Barbie. I really don't. All right, so it says here from Wagon Burner over on Twitter, in a move that's reignited one of the most pissed off fandoms, great way to start, Games Workshop has officially released plastic models for female Adeptus Custodes as part of their New Year preview on January 16th, 2026 for their Warhammer 40,000. These new Legio Custodes kits for Warhammer, I don't even know how to pronounce half this stuff. You guys reworded it a few times. If anything illogical happens, warp fuckery. Fashion contest with our characters. Chicks don't want to be an ugly character. Go figure. Take over Barbie. I don't want Barbie. Yeah, Ken did take over the Barbie movie. Exactly. We already won that one, guys. Had said that post like 3 times and never showed up on his screen until the last one. That could just be Streamlabs not working properly, guys. Don't necessarily base it off what you see on the screen. Streamlabs has issues, all right. The Horus Heresy, fully compatible with 40k armies, feature explicit female sculpts, heads, and proportions, allowing players to build entire all-female Custodes armies. What the hell is going on with Streamlabs? What was that? Oh, it's something Susano put out there. I don't even know what that is. That's crazy. I'm not even going to try to figure that out, dude. Warhammer community article, new Custodes, your questions answered, doubles down, confirming female Custodes have always existed, but were simply never shown in prior models due to their ambiguous armor. Games Workshop insists there's no functional difference between male and female Custodes. Both are flawless, gene-enhanced warriors crafted from noble infants via the Emperor's bespoke science, potentially including daughters to sustain numbers. All of which is easily disproven in the books by original creators and the lore. But they don't like the lore. These are same people who say that canon doesn't matter. They were talking about this on Words of Paradise today about anime, about how there's a lot of people who are the whole canon is stupid, who cares about canon? And I'm like, okay, you're a lot of fun. But to be fair, it's hard to make a setting with established rules that is interesting without breaking the rules here and there. Full of absolute dog vomit. That's one way of putting it. This comes after a rocky history of the 10th edition Adeptus Custodes Codex in 2024. First name dropped Calades Toravelia Kesh, a female custodian, sparking backlash. God, that was a mouthful. A brief 2024 removal rumor fizzled, and now Games Workshop is all in with plastic kits praised by outlets like Goonhammer as the coolest thing Games Workshop has done in years. Why is there a website called Goonhammer? I don't even want to know. I'm not clicking that link. The lore that was Custodes as the Emperor's sons. For decades, Adeptus Custodes were the Emperor's unyielding all-male bodyguard, the 10,000 forged individually from the finest Terrans, stocked to be superhuman perfection. Lore books, codices, and novels consistently depicted them as male warriors with gendered language like references to sons of noble houses and their role as the Emperor's bodyguards, implying an exclusively male elite, as it should be. They weren't mass-produced like Space Marines, explicitly male-only due to implementation biology as well. They were artisanal masterpieces, towering demigods in Oramite armor guarding the Golden Throne. This wasn't arbitrary. 40K's Grimdark Imperium is xenophobic theocracy where roles are rigidly defined. Female warriors, absolutely, but in their own factions. And again, that was the thing. The Sisters of Battle, right? That was another group that already existed. If canon doesn't matter, why invest in a story? Because it's about subverting the story. It's about subverting everything. Again, it's like you said, with whoever said that was Carl Benjamin's thing, was that they're just trying to reinvent it. They don't want to, you know? Why do fans of this series still buy this crap? No, so the thing about it, you can click the link. Okay. The thing about it is, QC Jerks, it's not fans of the series. A lot of fans of these series have moved on. Games Workshop has lost a lot of money in the last few years. They have lost a lot of money. They've lost a lot of their player base, a lot of fans. So if canon doesn't matter, why sue everyone who steals it? Exactly. So they also don't like the fact that people 3D print the miniatures and, you know, use their old books and say, basically, screw the new stuff. I'm just going to use the old stuff. And I'm done giving you guys my money, you know? Games Workshop didn't need to retcon the Custodes to include women. The Imperium already boasts two powerhouse all-female orders that perfectly complement the Custodes. And I'm going to say the Sisters of Silence, I think it is, between these two, the Sisters of Battle and Sisters of Silence, look pretty badass from what I've seen. When I was doing more videos and stuff talking about this, they were really cool looking. Oh no, Odyssey failed to synchronize. Go figure, Odyssey sucks ass. Guess they finally blocked the naughty hieroglyphs. What? I didn't know that was a thing. Manga creator chick tells fans a character is female, not trans. I didn't see that. These factions embody female strength in 40K's universe. Silent Sisters nullify Psychers for Custodes ops, while Sisters of Battle bring Holy Fury. Shoehorning women to Custodes created from infant nobles in a process that historically yielded only male feels forced, especially when Games Workshop admits that recruitment might now include noble daughters. Exactly. Yeah, it's, you know... Oh, here you go. Why prioritize diversity in the Emperor's hypermasculine guard when sisters languish without updates? It erodes immersion in a setting built on unflinching, politically incorrect hierarchies. This retcon isn't evolving lore, it's blatant erasure. Games Workshop gaslights fans by claiming females always existed, ignoring decades of male-only depictions. Sales might spike short-term, Goonhammer loves it, but long-term it alienates core players who cherish Custodes' uniqueness. Warhammer thrives on its unapologetic grimdark essence, bigots, zealots, and endless war. Female Custodes, that's not Emperor's will, it's boardroom DEI. Time for Games Workshop to honor the sisters who already shine, not rewrite the gold to fit modern molds for the Emperor. That's another well-written article, Wagon Burner. And again, that just kind of capitalizes on like the point there that it's not about making something better for all the existing fans. It's about chasing away the fans that don't like it and replacing it with ones that do. The problem is, tourists going to tourist. The problem is there's not enough people that are going to replace the fans that are leaving. Very long list of characters you can type, way beyond what you know about. Let me see here. 40K was filled with female representation, but they do the most retarded thing. Yeah, exactly. You can also use ASCII, which is easier, but has less you can do with typing numpad while hold. You know, Susano, you're way above my head here. I'm like on the verge of passing out here, trying to decipher what it is you're talking about at this point, and I am gone. I'm toast at this point. But yeah, you know, it is what it's going to be, and it's unfortunately for a lot of people, Games Workshop is irredeemable at this point, and it sucks because much like Star Wars was back in the day, when it was like, oh, you know, Star Wars is cool, oh, the prequels, they kind of suck, but hey, we still have the extended universe, And then they said, well, the extended universe isn't canon. And you go, well, that sucks, but I guess, you know, we still have the originals. And then you have the sequels that do everything they can to destroy the originals. And you go, okay, well, now basically Star Wars is dead, right? That's just what happens. And that's unfortunately what's happening with Games Workshop and Star Trek. Oh my God, we could have done a whole stream just on the clips coming out of Star Trek, guys. Star Trek is, I'll be honest, Star Trek is not a series, not a franchise I care about. Never have. Star Trek is something growing up, I would catch Next Generation reruns once or twice on TV, maybe once every couple weeks, and that'd be the extent of it, right? I just didn't care. Hey, where did our poll go? Did our poll just disappear? Oh, there it is. How long until Marathon's free to play? 60% say 1 year, 20% say 2 years or more, obviously. And 20% say never. I don't know. Yeah, somehow Palpatine returned. Right. So, you know, it's unfortunate, guys, that everything good eventually has to end. And somebody, I was following, I follow a couple like Lord of the Rings fans accounts on Twitter, and they were crapping pretty hard, even on like the Peter Jackson trilogy, because there were a lot of stupid changes, things that were not canon that were added in the movies. And I can look at it and say, well, at least the movies were good for what they were, even if the canon parts of it were kind of screwed up. 1 year for me means within 6 months. Oh, okay. Yeah, Equilibrium, it just took forever to show up. I don't know what the hell's going on. As a wise man once said, everything woke turns to shit. I love how you put wise in quotation marks. I appreciate that, because as somebody who has voted for Trump multiple times, I'm only prompting, playing around in chats, nothing else. Is that prompting? I think it's prompting. That's why I'm afraid for the news. Oh, Stargate's going to be shit, man. It's going to be terrible. One thing the right sucks is re-infiltrating these brands, these feminists are few. Okay, so the thing, QC Jerks, is what are they supposed to do? When you say re-infiltrating, they're not going to get hired by Games Workshop. So anybody who has a dissident opinion, as in, you know, cares about the lore, Games Workshop isn't going to hire those people to come back and write lore books. They're not going to hire them to come back and change things back to the way it was. So I understand it's not effective to make change, but to say, I'm going to take my ball and go home because you guys changed the rules of the game. Well, the game still goes on without you. Let's go get a different ball, right? But at the same time, if you stick around and play the game the way that they're playing it, you're also not going to make any change either. So, hostile takeovers? We hired them for sure, but again, the damage in those companies is already done. The right's not good at being subversive. I guess if you're meaning like just to be purely subversive, sure, but in these situations, you are going in, you know, purely outnumbered, especially now in the state that everything's in. So to try to re-infiltrate at this point, and you got to remember, leftists, people who are lunatics, are really good at sniffing it out. Okay, you're going to have them hitting you up for your pronouns, day one. Did you get your LGBTQ plus, pin for going to this rally? And I mean, it's just, these people are obsessed with this ideology. That's the problem. They don't know how to be normal. Why would they pay to get back with these idiots ruin instead of creating alternatives? I think that's part of the thing too. Yeah. I can't. Oh my God! Probably need to limit it. Not everyone can decode it. I don't even know. I can't decipher that. I'm sorry. Right wants to be nice and friendly and don't like to create waves. They'll straight up not hire you because of race or gender, sexuality. They have no Fs. Yeah, they got 0 Fs to give. 100%. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna hit the hay. It's too long for us to fix or talk about tonight. We can't fix everything overnight, obviously. For example, Arch and Sargon are working on their own Grimdark setting, and that's cool. And Avernum, I am all for that in the same way that I'm all for indie games replacing the AAA scene and everything else, and privately funded things replacing the corporate slop and all that. But we're also going to have to stop being so accepting with things that are legitimately bad. It's like how people say you can't criticize things, because it's hard to do. It's hard to make a game. It's hard to write a book. It's hard to write a movie. It's hard to make, whatever. But if it's bad, you should be allowed to criticize it. Well, I've played a lot of alternatives to what's out there in the mainstream, and if it's bad, you still have to be willing to criticize it. You know, that whole idea that you shouldn't criticize something because somebody worked really hard on it, it's terrible. It's just like, come on, guys. Leaflet also created her own TTRPG. Well, that's cool. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm hitting the hay. Sorry, I didn't have enough caffeine today, so my brain is like mush right now. I should have had green tea instead of herbal tea, and this herbal tea put me to sleep. Those sometimes lend themselves to grift because they are right-wing. Exactly, Remy. That's my concern. That is exactly my concern. So I don't want a quote-unquote right-wing substitute that's subpar to a better story. Look at a series like, look at a franchise like Warframe, guys. Yeah, I wish I had taken a nap. Warframe is made by some of the wokest people on the planet, but Warframe is still a fantastic game for what it is, okay? I highly recommend, if you have hundreds of hours to sink into a grindy game, Warframe is amazing. But the people that make the game are woke as shit. So you wouldn't want to go work with them as a conservative, but the product that they put out is still good. By the same token, I would have no problem if they were, you know, right-wing people just putting out a good product as long as the product itself is good. So it's like we need better alternatives that aren't just, well, buy this because it's not this. No, I still think we all deserve something good for our money. So, all right, guys, I'll be out. I need to get some rest, reset, probably be streaming either Wednesday or Friday. In the meantime, be safe, and I will catch you guys later.